We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Warning. The following program contains explicit language and mature content. It is not meant for the easily offended. So if you are an emotional pussy, please refrain from listening. Thank you and enjoy.
Yes, sir. Back at it. The Words on Fire podcast. Your boy Cujo, my man Jules.
Yeah.
Remember, follow us on the Instagram on the Words on Fire podcast, on the YouTube on the Words on Fire podcast, and all audio spots that we got: Spotify, Google, Amazon, App. I don't think it's Apple anymore. I just think it's like the Apple or something. No, wait, it is Apple because it used to be iTunes.
Man, they
Same
own everything.
shit.
It
No,
don't
it's
matter.
the same shit.
Soon to be Disney. I don't know.
Yeah. Soon to be
They're
the
gonna merge.
mouse.
They're gonna merge.
The mouse. This week we got special guests. These guys are actually professionals at talking on here. We got two of the guys. They're known as Fire and Ice.
Holy
we got
shit.
yeah. We got my band Brandon the Iceman Cone, and you might know his voice from being on here before. He goes by the name of Tip. He is the Fire. His name is Mike. He's also our MC from the Pillow Fight. Big Mike Tip. What's going on, boys?
The voice.
I don't know if I deserve all that intro and that
big
love,
and
but
tip
shit,
in the
I'll
same
take it.
sentence. I was like, oh my
dude,
God.
we got to
Man.
throw it on. We
Happy
gotta-
to be here.
We got to
Thank
throw
you.
it on.
Biggest,
Yeah.
nicest studio I've been in a long time. This is
Wow.
beautiful. Thanks for having
Appreciate
us,
that.
man.
Appreciate
This is
that.
great.
Yeah, this is my little getaway from everybody, and it used to be the getaway from the kids, but those fuckers took over. So
Hey, you should see
Yeah,
it when
see
we turn
that,
the
you
lights
know?
down and pole starts coming down.
yeah.
Very nice.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
My
Shit, we
little-
got Fire and Ice here. Shit.
Fire-
I'll say Brandon's about to start dancing. Is what's gonna happen.
Y'all didn't want to get me started now, you know?
Fire and Ice and everything nice. Guys, first of all, talk to us about your show. You guys are on. Where are you guys on for the show? And talk a little bit about the show. What does it all entail?
So podcast wise, we're on all the platforms, right? Like
Right.
Google, Apple, Spotify, shit, right? Like all that stuff. We also broadcast live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, blah 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 blah. Like all like basically everywhere that they will allow us
Pretty much.
to do all the nonsense that we do. And honestly, like we got together doing this thing. Just we did Crunch Time on 600 ESPN together. He was the talent, I was the producer on that, and we just always had. We don't agree on shit. Like
That's my damn thing.
we love the Dallas Cowboys.
Right,
Other
that's
than
about
that,
it.
the
Ugh.
rest of it is just
Well,
a
there goes the
nightmare.
show.
Hey, he's kind of a moron, you know? No, I mean, I'll tell you what. Tip and I, like he said, we met over, I think it was about 8 or 9 years ago.
What was the app?
Well, let's
Pre-grinder.
Pre-grinder. Grinder is phenomenal.
Grinder.
but we met, and I met Tip, and I was on a street corner. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, shit.
Anyways,
I knew I recognized you. I knew I recognized you.
hey, I used to have a sign that said "I'll work for food," and someone told me, "Man, you're working your ass off, son." Damn, boy.
You're
Anyways,
rich. You're rich.
Would you stop? I'm telling jokes already. I'm trying to tell a real story here, right? Exactly. No, but he and I worked together. I met him, and we instantly became buddies. And what I appreciated so much about Tip was how hard of a worker he was. And when he went to Connecticut and came back for a couple of years, he came back after a couple of years. He said, "Hey, let's do another show together. We had such great chemistry. Let's start a podcast." And of course, he has his broadcast network. And
Right.
at this point, I think it's been over a year since we reestablished Fire and Ice.
Yeah, we started the original one back in 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
And we did, I want to say, almost a year's worth of shows.
Year or
then.
two till 2020. Then you
Yeah,
left, or then
yeah.
the
The
COVID
pandemic.
happened.
COVID.
Yeah,
The
And
vid.
then yeah, we've been going back at it again now for a little over a year.
about a year. I think
Yeah.
we started about a year ago. You called me and said, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Am I ready?"
He's like, I've been on this corner for hours.
Everybody keeps driving.
My
on.
heels are killing me.
It's hard to work with a mask on, dude. Look at the mask is
This is very tough.
yeah, the
It
mask
wasn't
is
what I anticipated.
it's bad for business. So how was it coming back after the whole vid scare, or you guys were getting started, the momentum started going, then the vid put a halt to like life and everywhere, right? And then you guys got to start building it. Was it easy to get back into it, or was it just, did it take a while to get back to the flow, or was it just like instant?
Luckily for us, even going back to like the 600 days, we've had a pretty loyal following, and they were the ones who were like, why aren't you and Brandon doing more stuff? Like, you and Brandon need to keep doing like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
The second I got laid off from iHeart, there were like 15 people on my Twitter like, you and Brandon need to start Fire and Ice. Just like, go back to Fire and Ice. Yeah. So it was nice knowing, because like we've always had good chemistry. Like,
Right.
You know how it is, right? Like, whenever you've got a friend, you don't talk to that friend for a couple of days. You just pick up where you left off, right?
Right,
The same thing. You don't talk to them for a couple of years. You just pick up where you left off. That's how it was for us. Like, there was no knocking the rust off. None of this, well, we got to get our sea legs under us or any of that nonsense. It was just right off the bat, and then we were so lucky that the listeners were there, like, waiting for us. Like, there was a lot of anticipation and stuff.
Yeah.
And then now, just trying to grow it and see where it goes and how much more we can. It's a couple of schmucks, as Brandon was saying, talking about sports. Like, we can't take this, sir. We're just so blessed that people actually listen to it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody. I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. And of course, it's like, it'd been a long time since he and I had worked together. And once we got back and we started doing the show again, it was just like, it was like old home week. It was like we'd never left, and it's let's bring the band back together. And we got our shtick going, and we started busting each other's balls and disagreeing. And I called him a schmuck, and he called me a putz. And we were back, and now we rotate. We go here, we go there.
Is it a weekly show?
It is every Saturday at around high noon to around 1. And we alternate. Right now we're going to about 3 different sites. Around West Side, East Side, and so that's the gist of the show right now.
Awesome.
Damn. So, how did you get into the business? Because I know Tip has already told us, because it's his whole days when he was going to fight Stephen A. Smith and all that shit. But how did you get into this?
Well, I tell you, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a sportscaster. I mean, I graduated from Coronado back in '97, and I was always the sports broadcaster over there.
Okay.
So from there, I got into radio at KTEP, where Tip also worked, 88.5 FM. I started my radio career. I did some TV in high school as well. I did a show called The Sports Bag as a junior in high school.
Okay.
Then once I graduated from UTEP, I got an internship at ESPN Radio, and then it led to, of course, co-hosting Crunch Time, and ultimately doing high school football. And then they offered me play-by-play for UTEP women's basketball. I was one of the voices for 6 seasons, road and home games, and then, of course, hosted Crunch Time for over 4 years. So really started in college and kind of escalated to, my other full-time job besides other things that I do on the side,
Damn, that's crazy.
Stripping on the side.
Little hoeing on the side, man.
That's always a job hazard.
There's
when
the
it comes
pole
to
right
sports.
there, right, Tip?
All the
Hanging out-
VIP dances.
Hanging out on Dyer.
Hey,
Dyer, that's moving. Yeah, moving on up.
Yeah,
that's
moving
high
on
class.
up.
That's
That's
high
high class for
yeah,
me,
we're,
man.
we ain't at that level yet.
Is there a Chico's close by?
No, he's way down Dyer. He's way down Dyer.
He's over there by MLK. He's over there by MLK.
You're working your way up, though.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Well, you'll be in the big league sooner or later. I believe.
what I'm
You'll
working
get by
for.
Fort Bliss soon enough. Shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
So when you guys are getting together since it's a weekly show, and of course, is it all sports you talk about, or do you guys incorporate other things, or just
I mean,
100% sports?
we try to incorporate as much as possible. Like, if there's a topic that's going on that's relevant to things, like, we'll talk about it. But Brandon does a really good job that a lot of other producers that I've had in the past cannot do for me, and that's keep me on track.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever I had the show on 1380, I would just run shop, and it would be whatever I wanted to talk about, and it would be local topics, or if I got bored of sports, because summertime and sports don't go together very well.
Right.
Be like, who's got the best tacos in El Paso? I gotta figure this stuff out.
We're still trying to figure that out.
We're trying.
I am willing to do a taste test. If anyone out there wants to do it, let's get together. The 4 of us. I think that's
I'll second that.
That's a good panel.
Yes.
I'm about it. Right?
Absolutely.
They better bring a lot of
Taco
that shit.
throwdown.
But for the most part, we tend to kind of stay sports adjacent. I might go off on a tangent every now and then. Brandon knows when to try to reel me back, and I could tell by the look on his face at times. He's like, "Just shut the fuck up, come on, man."
Yeah.
But the NFL's king, right? So over the last few months, it's just been the NFL.
Yes.
Now that the NFL is gone and your Kansas City Chiefs have won them the Super Bowl,
Yes, sir.
Bullshit. But anyways, go ahead.
Let's talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
because I know last time. So I was gonna text you before the actual Super Bowl, but last time we talked when the Super Bowl we had done. You had asked us to send you a little video about who's gonna win with the Chiefs and
Yes.
the Bucks.
Yes.
And that ended up fucking my team, and my team lost because I was like, my team's gonna win for sure. The moment I put that in the air, we fucking got blown the fuck out. Half our line.
No,
got
you weren't
left.
talking shit this year, though.
No,
You
no,
weren't,
no, no. Because I learned.
You were
I
down-
learned from
you were
last
doubting
time.
your quarterback
Yeah,
hard.
because last time I was talking all kinds of shit, and then that week of like the whole offensive line got hurt, and we had like 5th and 8th stringers, so we were done. Then this year, Pat Mahomes loses an ankle, and I was like, shit,
Maybe.
and I was
Maybe.
like, shit. Yeah,
He was playing it up. He was playing it
The
up.
dude was hurt.
Brandon.
Whatever it was.
Brandon,
He
Brandon
was.
knows better than everybody. What did I think about that ankle?
What
He
happened?
said that was all fool's gold. He was just fine, and
Yeah.
and then he went on to win the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl.
So,
yeah,
so
it
what
was all bullshit.
what I said is that it wasn't nearly as bad as people think it was. Like if it was an ankle sprain at all, it was like, oh my goodness, right? Like, oh, this is what happened to me. Patrick Mahomes is a hell of an actor. The dude's gonna get a Grammy one day or whatever the acting awards are, an
He's
Emmy.
not singing.
Yeah.
He ain't sing. He's not Oscar
And then
de
he
la
said he
Hoya.
kind of like reheard it right during the game.
But this is
a high ankle sprain,
no, he
bro.
sure did. It
Well,
looked
I
like
mean
it
that
was-
one it did look like that was
It looked like he
good.
was going to be out the rest
But
of the game.
I also
but-
feel like it was a Paul Pierce in the NBA Finals thing where like Paul Pierce shit
Willis
himself
Reed?
and then had to like have everybody take him off the court and then comes back. It's like, no, I didn't shit myself.
Was
I
it
just
me?
need to go get some new shorts. Right?
it was someone else.
I feel like that's what Patrick Mahomes did. Like he might have played it up a little bit because you see him on the sideline. He's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah.
He almost lost a leg. I was ready to donate. I was like, take my leg. It's as close as I'm getting to the NFL.
Cut me, Mick. Cut me.
I mean, but also you gotta admit the NFL's got a lot of. They got some good drugs. They got them good
Oh, yeah.
drugs to keep you going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
And I'm sure they shot him up with all kinds of shit.
that's what I told everybody. Is like they took him out back. They just gave him like cortisone shots on the both sides of the ankle. Give some Toradol.
Little
Go
bit
out
of
there and
crack.
be somebody.
Yeah, a little bit of crack, and he was running like.
Look, if
wow.
you ain't on PEDs, you ain't trying.
Right.
Come on, let's face it. Let's call a spade a
dude.
spade.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers was hooking him up with ayahuasca.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of this and that. But I'll tell you what, I think what was most impressive was the fact that they ended up taking care of business against what most people thought on paper, I think including myself, was a better team, with a better offensive line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay,
How'd that turn
shut
out?
the hell. Yeah, I lost. Okay, I know. I owe you a grease. I know a couple
Two of
greases.
them.
He was a what?
Yeah. A grease, something
grease?
to eat.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
only thing we agree on is good greases, right?
So the one thing that you'll learn from Brandon, and you
what?
might
It's like a what?
you might not learn these things.
It's like a what?
He uses Yiddish words like they're going out of style.
Nice.
The language of the Jews.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So like he brings
Mazel
up like
tov.
these.
Thank you.
yeah.
What'd you say? Go filter fish.
go filk a fish. That rush hour shit right there. Okay.
So grease like a good meal.
He,
But
owes,
I-
he owes me 2 of them because he was dumb enough to take bets against me. Come on, guys.
So you bet on the Eagles then?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
you're a Dallas fan, right? I mean,
Yeah, but
That's-
I'm
I
also unfortunately, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
fuck,
So
I
that's
just
gotta
couldn't do
hurt.
it. I just couldn't
That's
do it.
gotta hurt to go for the Eagles.
Well, I wasn't really I
mean,
wanted
to bet on them,
I
I
was
should
betting
say.
on them. I shouldn't have. I should have listened to this guy.
See, the way that I looked at it, the Kansas City Chiefs, their history, they were the former Dallas Texans. So anytime the Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
win, it's a win for Dallas. That's the way that I look at
That's
it.
a good point.
So
I like
all
that.
Dallas
It's another,
wins
it's
is-
another
that's
win for
one way-
Texas.
yeah, that's
So all Dallas wins are a win
that's
for
one
the
way to
Chiefs.
justify it.
I mean, we can say that.
That works
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
That means we got the most. So we got what, 5 now? 6?
Together we've got 8.
8?
8?
That works
Yeah.
for me.
Look at
They
us.
have
I'm
three.
down.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
They have
Best
3.
ever. Best ever. Eat, suck on that, Jules. You and your fucking Raiders. No, but
No, I'm a Raider fan, but I'm saying
No, no,
I'm
no.
not a
You
big
don't know
football
about winning.
fan.
You don't know about winning.
No,
No, it
I
happens.
used to.
Yeah, but that's before your
Then
time.
2002.
A long time ago.
How old are you?
Well, that's another story, right?
He just turned
the big
another,
4-9.
Oh,
yeah, he just
yeah?
turned 4-9.
Oh,
Yeah.
you look
Damn,
phenomenal.
Jules. So you do
Phenomenal.
remember when the Raiders were good then?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say,
Okay.
I was
like we're talking
born-
like early 80s or 80, what was it, 83,
Hell yeah.
84?
Hell yeah. I saw that.
They were still LA when they
They're-
won their last Super Bowl, weren't
Yup.
they? Yeah.
I I wasn't born yet.
Damn.
No.
Damn, Tip. You're a
That's
young
sad.
man.
I'm 39.
I know. That's what I thought. Oh, shit.
Really?
Now we're throwing words.
believe
now.
he's
We're
the
throwing-
youngest one here.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I'm
Damn.
44.
Holy shit! This is what that feels like. God damn!
That's, I don't know.
I
if that's
feel like
something.
father time.
I don't know. If that's something to celebrate or not, bro.
They're like, get the fuck
We're
out of
like-
my house.
You had a rough life, son.
A young pup.
So now that like you were saying earlier, now that football's over, like what is there to do? Because there's like basketball isn't what basketball used to be. Basketball is nobody is a diehard of a team anymore. People are more diehard of players now.
Sure.
They're just as equally as players are easily. They leave a lot more easily to win than actually try to beat.
Well, not
the other
everybody's
teams.
a Kobe. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah.
stay with
Well,
the
you had
same
Kobe,
franchise.
you had Dirk, you had some guys that just decided to stay on their team and they're going to build their team fucking
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But then you have the LeBrons who, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna take 8 of my homies with me, and when everything doesn't work,
But
we
he
don't blame
has won
somebody
a
else.
championship everywhere he goes. But I mean,
Well,
that's a whole different thing.
When you got
I
an
mean,
all-star team with you, if you don't, then there's something wrong with you.
See, and that's the thing, right? Is like LeBron has won a championship everywhere that he's gone. What has the team been whenever he's left?
It's been,
Right?
absolute
Like
trash.
they've been just decimated because they have to give away. I mean, look at the Lakers right now. What's their future once LeBron is gone?
I don't know, but I,
know,
love it.
man.
Yeah, it's
I-
gonna be
that's
bad.
my squad.
That's
Right
the
there.
squad, too.
It's
I hate
gonna
the
be
Lakers.
bad,
I've
right?
always
Nah,
hated
not
the
a fan.
Lakers.
Not a fan.
And they deserve every bad shit that happens.
Why? Why?
Wow.
They deserve every bad
That's
shit that
hate,
happens to
dude.
them.
What
Show me on the doll where they touched you.
Yeah. Right there. Underneath
whole
the belly
area.
button.
That whole area.
Where that belly button's at? Right underneath there.
But like you said, like, well, what do we do whenever football's not there?
Yeah.
Right? Does football ever go away?
Not really.
Like,
No.
look at what the story is
The
right
draft
now. Right?
coming up, you
What's
know.
Aaron Rodgers going to do?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a huge story.
Well, he just got out of his
What's-
little
Las
hobbit
Vegas,
hole.
baby.
Yeah. What's Derek Carr going to do? Sure. There's all these different moving parts out there. Is Tom Brady really retired? And then on
Right.
top of that, like, yeah, you can go with the stories in the NBA. That's easy stuff, right? I love this time of year because like you're done with football. Now we can look at the XFL. We can look at the USFL. I don't know how much of that Brandon's going to watch, but I like just inject that shit in my veins.
Yeah.
I love the NBA. I'm one of the weird Texans where I love basketball more than I love football.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm just looking forward to the NCAA tournament before I look forward to basketball in the NBA because he's the NBA junkie. Me,
Yeah.
it's like I'll watch the finals, but there's way
Yeah.
too many regular season games. But
Yep.
the tournament's right around the corner. I mean, March Madness is almost here, and I'm
who's the number one team in the country right now?
Well, let's
It's
see. That would
Alabama,
be
isn't it?
Houston.
Oh, I was-
UConn's number
you're
2,
surprising.
right?
You're
You think
surprising.
I'm that big of a putz or what? Jeez, I mean, I am kind of following it.
Yeah, my
Yeah, see?
I didn't know.
You had to brush up.
Hey, I didn't use my phone. I wasn't looking for my. I actually came.
He
from
looked
a-
it up earlier.
He was driving over
I
here
was
listening to
driving-
all the
Siri,
podcasts.
who's the number one team in the country right now?
Long as it ain't Duke, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Fuck Duke.
Are they ranked?
No, I don't think they're in the
Oh
top.
my God! Are you
fucking love
serious?
it.
I love it. I'm gonna watch this year.
Yeah, but then the Tar Heels aren't going to make it either, right? They're on the brink of being bounced out.
I mean,
Not
They're
even
on the
making it.
bubble.
I
On the bubble?
think
But how
like-
many ACC teams make it? Like 8 teams?
yeah.
so
like-
yeah,
like,
I mean,
anybody from the
Carolina's
ACC.
probably going to make it.
Yeah,
like,
I
let's
mean,
be honest.
don't make it with like barely above 500. It's like everybody
take it.
wants to see the ACC in the tourney.
Yeah.
What do you think UTEP was going to do this year, Brandon?
A hell of a lot better than what they've done. I mean, they stink. I mean, they're going to lose to FAU to conclude things, and I'm just not impressed. I mean, no free throws, bad defense. I mean, Golding. Let's put it this way: the second year, I think a lot of big expectations. No, it's the second year, isn't it? Second year?
I could have swore this was the
I
third.
could have sworn. What,
don't
should
even
we
know
go
who's talking
triple or
about.
nothing?
now
on
we
the
need to bring
Greens?
out the phones and.
I'm almost positive it's because
a
3 years
lifeline.
ago is when he led ASU to ACU
ACU.
to win against Texas in the first round.
For
So I
those
think
that don't know, because who the hell keeps up with UTEP basketball? That is Joe Golding, the head
They
coach
still have basketball?
of UTEP.
they still, yeah,
basketball.
NMSU,
shit.
they don't.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have no basketball right now.
Those motherfuckers
Jeez.
are wilding.
Talk about fucking up, huh?
Hey,
oh
wait,
my
what
goodness.
was the
Wilding
last
the
year they were
fuck
good
out.
though?
Who,
Like,
UTEP?
Yeah, UTEP.
What, 2010 when they
Yeah.
made the tournament? Like
Yeah.
12, 13 years
Shit,
ago?
who's that? Gillespie?
No, that's
Tony
No,
Barbie.
that's
Barbie.
early. That's early '90s, right? What,
No,
like-
Gillespie
Gillespie
was
was-
03, 04,
Yeah.
05, 04, 05, those back-to-back
Oh,
teams.
dude, those are
Yeah.
good drunken
Yeah,
years.
it was some good years. Yeah,
Those are
right?
good drunken years, dude. That dude was something else, man. You know what?
He was
did I
good.
tell you where we ran into him? We ran into him at a fucking bar.
No,
Yeah.
not him there,
Who did?
right?
So
Gillespie
Vince
at a
and I,
bar.
we had gone out to a bar, and it was I think it was during March Madness. He had a stack of money right here, just sitting. And every time the waitress just comes, he just does this and just fucking flicks it. Went through that whole fucking stack. I was just looking at him all night. I was like, dude, that's my fucking hero. That's what I want to do when I grow up.
Who was that?
Gillespie?
Was it Gillespie?
Yeah, it was Gillespie.
That
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
Yeah, we
The
were
guy
at,
could drink,
at
from what I
Bikini
understand,
Joe's.
you know?
We were at Bikini Joe's back in the day. Over there by
Nice.
Sue in Montana.
Oh,
Oh,
When it was
okay,
first
okay,
there.
yeah.
And he was just there, just fucking flipping money to people, just flipping. I was like, oh, dude. That was
And he was
fucking
making
balls.
some good shekels for back then,
I
too.
thought you guys
Yeah.
were talking about Jason Rabideau for a second.
Oh, man. Raps knew how to party, too, huh?
Did he?
Yeah, for what I understand. I mean, and then some. right?
See, but you couldn't beat the bear though. The bear,
No.
that motherfucker had
That
at
guy could
least
drink.
3 bottles of Jack in his truck at all fucking times.
He's the only guy that could, from what I understand, he parked his truck on a medium or something. A median, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Median.
Yeah.
And the officer was like, "Oh, Mr. Bear, it's okay, go home or whatever." He didn't get like a DUI.
No, he shouldn't get a DUI.
No,
they
he's
should
the
never
bear.
fuck with that guy. They
That-
should give him
you
a
know,
free pass all
But
the time.
it's like it was so many people would party with him and see him at bars, and he was just a cool regular guy.
Yeah.
He's
The Lake
legendary,
Great Bear.
like fucking Andre the Giant type shit.
Right?
Like that
He's
dude
on
was a
that
drinker.
Especially in this
Yeah.
town. I mean,
Like,
You know, I want to circle back a little bit because I know we're talking about NFL and then we're trying to move on. But one of the things that was coming out, I guess, before the Super Bowl was that the Super Bowl was scripted, or that the NFL is scripted. And who was it? Arian Foster,
Yeah.
was the one that was coming out and putting out all that shit. What is your guys' take on that?
He's
Do you
disgruntled.
wanna go
Well,
first?
I'll go first. I mean, I personally think that anything's possible, first of all.
Right.
It's sports, and there's a lot of
Money.
cheating and money that's bet, and there's a lot of, let's just call it questionable individuals involved in certain things. I don't know that it's scripted, but I really have a bad thought about the officiating. I think the officiating overall is very suspect.
Yes.
I think that considering he's doing this with his hands, that means he can't wait to talk. I know this guy. I
ready
know
to
his
rant.
tells. He's no
He's
poker
ready to
face.
rant.
But he's just like,
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
shut the fuck up, Iceman. I'm ready to tear
I'm
you a
ready to
new
go.
asshole. No, but I mean, honestly, I think the officiating's garbage, man. And I think that's not the only sport, but it takes away from the quality of the game. And I can't believe you have a $1 billion league that's supposed to be the greatest sport in our country, at least,
Right.
but yet the officiating stinks. But I don't think it's scripted. At least I hope not. But geez, what the hell do I know, man?
Yeah.
Seriously, it's weird. Some of these endings are very suspect. Honest
Agreed.
to God, they are.
Agreed.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Here, Kate, go ahead.
Okay, so I will agree that the officiating sucks at times, right? But that's
times.
every league. So we could say that's the
Worse
same
in the
all around,
NFL,
right?
though. Worse in the NFL.
Let's talk about Tim Donaghy for a minute, right?
Yeah, okay. He took the money. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right.
So, okay. If it were scripted, and this is the thing that people need to realize with like Arian Foster, Stephen A. Smith, people like that, right? They're playing a character, they're turning it up to 11. Just think of wrestling, right?
Right.
Sure.
We're going all balls to the wall. We're going to say crazy stuff because people are going to give us clicks, right?
Right.
Arian Foster's playing the game. He's playing the game well. If the NFL were scripted, if sports in general were scripted like that, it would be such a massive undertaking of everybody having the same understanding, the same goal in mind, and then working it to perfection without everybody knowing.
Everybody
That
has to
would
be involved.
never
Like,
happen. That would never like when in the history of mankind has every single person known their role and just gone along with it, right?
Right.
The
it would take
Chicago
one,
Black Sox, but they weren't
Yes.
all in. They supposedly
weren't.
weren't. Well, we
Talk
don't
about
know that though. They said they weren't.
What, that Shoeless Joe Jackson
Shoeless
shit?
Joe
Yeah.
said, "I wasn't me," but who the hell knows? That was a lot of money those guys were getting, and Comiskey was cheap.
Yep.
And they
Mafia
threw the
was
World
involved
Series.
in that
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what else are they involved
But-
in?
hard
you
not
know?
to say
but
no to
again,
Mafia.
but again,
Well,
going back to the whole thing of it, did it succeed? At the end of the day, no, it didn't. They all got caught. If the NFL and sports were scripted, everybody would be
look
caught
at
like
Pete
that.
Rose.
Easy, but
I mean,
now
that-
it's
I don't know,
easier
though.
to
I don't know.
It's easier to push people aside, just like when people who are these conspiracy nuts. It's easier just to say, "Oh, you know what? They're crazy," and you just fucking push that aside and just move on to something else.
They might,
You know what I mean?
They might
Like-
cover the point spread, maybe, but I don't think.
How
it's
do the stars align so well for like Kansas City to make the Super Bowl? I mean,
Is
look,
it the script?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it
part of the
It's
script.
a Hollywood friggin' script. It's worthy of an Oscar. I mean, it's like Mahomes is injured. He gets shoved out of bounds. They get their extra 15 yards. They kick the game-winning field goal. I mean, God, it's just weird. Man.
I think it was
It's a little weird.
The years from them sucking ass for so long, like the Christian Okoye days and shit like that. So
The
they're like,
Nigerian Nightmare.
yeah, and they just said, give them something, so they shut the
Nigerian
fuck up.
Nightmare. That's
You see,
hilarious.
and it's because the thing with that. So, like you say, how the lines, how it starts to align, right? So, my boy, he's from Missouri. He's a huge Kansas City fan.
Missouri.
And the first thing he told me, like when we're watching the Cincinnati game, because Cincinnati's had their number, right?
Yeah.
3 games in a row.
Yeah.
It's going close to being the 4th one, but they've all been 3-point games. One mistake here and there, not one play, not one flag defined the whole fucking game, right? It's a series of things that happened prior to that. That's just what stands on everybody's mind because it's the last thing that happened. When it happened, when we're watching the game, he's like, dude, Philadelphia won yesterday. There's no way the Chiefs lose today. I was like, okay, explain. So think about the storyline that you have going up for the whole next 2 weeks. You got the Kelsey Bowl. You got Andy against his old team. And so the storyline is a lot better than Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts.
Right.
So, and then when that happened, and, again, I agree with you more that the officiating sucks than the actual whole fucking team is scripted. That the whole
Because
fucking thing
if
is
you
scripted.
think about it, the Super Bowl and the AFC title game ended on suspectful, weird calls. I mean,
Yeah.
that should have been the guy
the
shoved
Joe
him out
Burrow-
of bounds, and it was a good call.
Yeah.
And then the holding,
They held him twice.
Yeah, so it's
He
like,
held him
dude,
twice on
how
that
the
one.
fuck do both games end like that, though? That's weird, man.
Because who's playing the game?
Well, not us. That's
Human
for sure.
beings.
I mean, yeah, of course.
There's always going to be the human error of it, right? The guy that pushes somebody out of bounds was a first-year player. That's a dumb fucking mistake
Dumb,
in front of the
terrible
entire
mistake.
world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the hold, whenever the player's like, you know what, I fucking
I
held it. It's
goofed. Yeah, I
obvious that I
goofed.
held it. Whenever you're doing it right there in front of the referee, either the referee throws the flag and we're having the conversation that we're having now,
Or he
the
didn't throw
referee
the flag.
doesn't throw the flag and we're having a different conversation because
right.
Philadelphia wins the game, right?
Right.
Maybe, because there's a lot that needs to happen for Philadelphia to win that game. They weren't moving the fucking ball at all in the second half. So they weren't going to score, at least not in my mind, right? Everyone's like, well, you give Jalen Hurts a 2-minute offense, let's see what happens. We saw that dude cannot throw a ball.
Yep.
How did that Hail Mary fall 14 to 25 yards short of reaching anybody?
Yep.
Like, I had never seen a Hail Mary just
Die.
that looked like us throwing a Hail Mary. Right? I was
Now,
like, fuck, I can play in the NFL.
I will say this: if it were scripted, the damn Cowboys would have won a Super Bowl recently.
No.
Maybe
come
winning
on.
every year.
See, and that would be the thing, right? Because
Unfortunately,
you would be placating.
Think about it, in that respect,
You would
right?
be placating to the team that generates the most revenue.
True that.
It would be the Dallas Cowboys all the time versus the 49ers all the time in the NFC Championship game.
And Prescott wouldn't be so terrible throwing interceptions every game.
Romo would have at least got one.
Yeah,
That
right.
was it.
At least one.
Romo would have been Tom Brady.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He would have been Brady. He would have been. But again, to me, it takes away from the quality of the game, the officiating. And every year they're gonna look at it, they're gonna critique them, they're gonna fine them, they're gonna put different crews, and it still sucks. And to me, that's unacceptable.
Well, to me, like it's because fans need to find a scapegoat. It can't be our team was.
So what's
was
the answer
horrible.
for that though? Like
Get better
I mean,
officiating.
But there's no such thing.
I mean, there has to
how-
be
It's
something,
hard. Well, one thing they could do is, I know that they did what 4 or 5 years ago, where you could actually throw a flag on a questionable pass interference or a holding,
that
where you could
away.
actually throw it down, and you could. And one of the things that I was talking to Jules about, I think we mentioned this in one of our I guess right before the Super Bowl. One of the things, and I know we mentioned this earlier, like when you're seeing XFL right now, a lot of things. There's a lot of different ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? One of the things that I loved about the what is it, USL or what was the
USFL.
Yeah, USFL. One of the things I liked that they did last year is every time they'd go in and watch a fucking replay on something, you heard the communication between the ref and the guy up top who's playing it, and you're knowing exactly what they're looking at, and there's no fucking questions about, hey, is this rigged? Because you're hearing the breakdown of it. If the NFL were to do something like that, give it a little bit more in depth. I mean, they're already giving you in depth with everybody being mic'd up. And then you got the fucking you got the series that's on HBO, the Hard Knocks,
Yeah.
on the training camp, and then now you have a Hard Knocks during the season. If you have that inside where you can actually see and hear, and there's no fucking questions about were they looking at this or were they looking at that. If you hear somebody saying, well, they're looking at A instead of B. Well, now this is what we need to work on the offseason to get these fucking refs going, because I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Wait a minute, they
You
got
know?
a Hard Knock during the season?
Yeah, they got a
Okay.
Hard Knocks during
Oh,
the
when
season.
did
Was
that
that with
start?
the Colts or something?
Yeah. Last
2 years
year.
ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
All
but
right.
so I was, believe it or not, I was watching the XFL, the game, the Seattle's team. I can't even think of the name.
The
but
Seattle Sea Dragons.
Sea Dragons.
Put some
I got
fucking
Sea
respect on their
Dragons.
name.
Yeah, I got you. The St. Louis, I think, was playing, but it was actually a
The
good game.
Battlehawks. Put
Yeah,
some
I got
fucking
your
respect.
Hey,
Battle
isn't
Hawks.
that the Rocks league?
Yeah.
Is that the one he bought?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I'm watching the game last night, and I was actually entertained with the whole listening to the coaches and listening
Yeah.
to them call the plays. And I agree in the respect that it would be kind of nice and to see more of that in the NFL, just kind of spice things up a
Yeah,
little
you
more.
see
know
behind
what I
the
mean?
curtain.
So-
I thought it was cool.
Eventually, I think in the NFL it will happen, but the only way it's going to happen is because of what? The NFL is all about their money.
All about the money.
It's going to have
Of
to be
course.
sponsored content. It's going to have to be stuff like that.
Brought to you by Nabisco.
What? Wow, could you have gotten an older sponsor? It's like, brought to you by Fig Newtons.
Brought to you by
I haven't heard
Keebler
that
Elves.
in a minute, yo. Those damn Keebler elves.
Brought to you by Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I
But
couldn't
like,
resist.
so it's going to have to be like sponsored content, right? And then the whole thing is going to come down to like what we saw with the NFL. Yeah. Oh, well, obviously this company wants this to happen.
Right,
this way,
right.
And then I don't know if you saw with the XFL this past weekend, because I don't know how many people watched the XFL.
It's
games
kind of
this
entertaining.
weekend.
They should watch it. They should at least
started.
give it a shot.
No, for
give it a shot.
for me, it's like
I kind of like it. You
again,
know,
like as
I'll
much
watch
football,
it. It's football.
as much football as I can, just inject
I'll watch
it
it
in my
a
veins.
little bit
right?
here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dean Blandino, who is the NFL rules like guru that you see on CBS and ESPN and all those things, the XFL goes to him and they do the same thing the USFL does, right? Okay, let's look at this replay. Nah, I don't know if this is going to happen, blah, 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 blah. It's a clear as day touchdown. Both
Right.
feet in, has possession of the ball. The guy in the booth watching the replay as it happens. Dean Blandino, the NFL's best. No, that's not a touchdown. Negates the call. The team, I think it was San Antonio, loses the game because of that.
Damn.
Wow.
So again, even though you had eyes, and it was the same thing whenever they were able to throw the flag on pass interference, 12% of those pass interferences got overturned.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's such a questionable thing, right? There's so much gray area. It's not black and white like we as fans want it to be.
That's because
And
nobody
then the
knows what
thing
it
is-
catches anymore.
Well, that's because also fans
There's
have no
too
idea.
many rules.
It's just so stupid.
You
But that's
gotta
also
have it
the
for
thing.
3
So
seconds.
Just turn
Hop
it
on your
into-
left leg.
Just
and
turn it into
you
flag
got to
football,
twirl
man.
around and
No,
do
they
a
did that for the
move.
Pro Bowl. That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
mean,
that
you
was
can't.
fun.
You can't.
Really?
hit
That
That was
the
the
Wow.
flag.
stupidest shit I've ever seen in my
Ridiculous.
life, man.
I loved it, dude. I thought it was fun.
I was
you
better
would-
off-
You're
loved
like
it,
the
man.
first person I ever heard say that.
I'd be better
Well,
off
let's
getting
take
a
away
full body
half the
wax.
field and play flag football. That should
Yeah,
really be
that's-
fun.
Well, I like
yeah.
that lingerie one. What's that?
Of course, who doesn't like a lingerie bowl?
Yeah, I'm
that
down
and the
with that.
kitten bowl, right?
The Puppy
Yeah.
Bowl was better.
That was that
The Puppy
halftime
Bowl.
shit.
Yeah.
That was the
Puppy Bowl
halftime
would have been
shit.
better than that
Yeah.
shit.
We really miss
Bring
football.
that back.
Talking about the
Right?
kitten
It just
bowl.
finished last week. So since you were at the draft, what, a few years ago, right?
I was at the draft this past year.
This
yeah.
past year, you were at the draft. What's so like? What happened at the draft? That did anything happen that you're like, oh my god, I couldn't believe that actually went down, or like I can't believe this is what I'm around these fucking beasts of men, and
I mean-
that just blew your mind. That actually happens.
That's the one thing, though, right? Like
You don't have to
realize-
answer that question.
After-
No strippers, no cocaine, no.
he starts blushing.
No,
Being around all those sweaty men.
All
It's
those
gonna be
I was
that
like-
kind of party.
Like the way that he was describing it, I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, man."
Keep
What
going, keep going.
what
I was
the-
like, what are we talking
the
about?
water glistening behind their back.
My asshole hasn't been the same.
Oh my God, we've known that for a long time, though. Okay. Continue,
The wind,
please.
the wind cave. Anyways,
That's
Sir
what it
Wind
is.
Cave.
So one of the like I was surprised. Like again, you know they're NFL athletes, right? You don't realize how big these dudes are. Even Malik Willis, you hear like, oh, he's a small quarterback. He weighs like 190 pounds. It's like 190 pounds of just pure muscle.
Yeah.
Right? Like that guy has zero body. His calves were like bigger than my head.
Jesus.
I was like, this dude's a running quarterback. Yeah, of course.
how do you
he
know though? That's crazy.
can. Well, he had him wrapped around.
Once they ping your ears, they do.
Tips, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, but herpes is everywhere. Herpes follows everywhere.
Oh,
Let
Tip.
me tell you.
Good thing I didn't go last year.
So graphic. He's so graphic.
He can't get in as much trouble in Kansas City.
Yeah, they.
Oh, you want to bet?
All he's going to be doing is eating
Yeah.
the barbecue.
Hey, no,
Andy
it's-
Reid.
But
Yes.
I think the coolest thing that I really wasn't expecting, right, is like as fans, you like anytime you see another fan base, you're like, you're effing team, right? Especially
Right.
as Cowboys fans, we get it from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
At the draft, it was like everybody, like all the fan bases were so effing nice.
Really?
It's because, and like you have to think about this, right? Like that's the one point of the season where we can all be like, it's factoring of hope.
Yeah.
I've got hope. Like maybe we can get, something that's going to change our franchise around
Right.
that can make everything better. Talking with like Detroit Lions fans, they're like, yeah, we're going to get Aiden Hutchinson and this and that and blah, blah, blah. The dude's Michigan born. He went to Michigan. Like he's just a Michigan guy. They get Michigan, like they actually drafted Aiden Hutchinson,
Right.
And all the Detroit fans on the Strip were like, "Fuck yeah, like it's amazing!" and Green Bay fans are walking up to him, and Bears fans are like, "Dude, that's an awesome pick." And so, like, you just don't expect that type of environment.
Unless you're the Raiders, man, you draft kickers in the first round.
That's the
Hey,
way
it
you
worked
gotta
out
go.
for them.
I
you
mean,
know?
Sebastian
I was
Janikowski
going to
was
say
a
that
badass.
actually.
He was. I'll give him that, but that first round, I don't give a fuck.
Could you imagine if they had drafted Sebastian Janikowski in Vegas?
Oh,
Like that
Oh.
dude, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
Right? Like he would have just partied so
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
yep. Fuck yeah.
That
All
guy's
kinds
like
of
I want
cocaine.
like out of all the weird NFL people I would love to meet, Sebastian Janikowski's like one of the guys.
Todd
Yeah.
Marinovich.
See, mine would have been the hefty lefty,
Oh yeah,
but then he died, so I can't.
you can.
There's that. I mean, there is that.
I would wait.
No, right? Yeah, probably. Who's this? The hefty lefty.
Jared Lorenzen
Dude, this dude was a quarterback out of
He was a big
Kentucky
boy.
or Kansas.
out of Kentucky.
Kentucky.
So
This-
he played in the NFL as a quarterback. His listed weight was like 325.
Huge.
What the
Then
This
when,
motherfucker was as big as a he was bigger than a lineman. This dude
Yeah.
was a beast.
What year was this?
05.
Didn't he win a ring with the Giants?
Yeah, he backed up
Yeah.
Eli.
And so
Oh,
07,
really?
right?
Yeah.
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 So 05, 06,
I was like,
07.
keep Eli in. Don't put this
Yeah.
motherfucker in.
And then you remember whenever they had like the oh god, what was it like? It was like another version of the NFL, but it was like arena ball.
Oh,
Arena
yeah,
football.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing quarterback in arena football at 6'4", 450.
Oh my goodness.
Dude was light on his feet,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, he was.
He was like doing spin moves and stuff and just throwing the ball out. The Pillsbury throw boy, like it
Oh,
was
dude.
awesome.
It
dude.
was
He looked like one of them hippos in the
Dude,
tiara.
it gave-
fucking,
Yes, it gave me hope of being an athlete. That dude brought so much smiles to so many people.
God, like,
That dude
like
was a
me,
beast.
me being a fat left-handed guy, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've got an altar to him at my house. I bow and pray to it every day.
I could barely jack off.
It takes me a week and a half to find
Tip saw I haven't seen my putts in 3 years. Tip went to the doctor one time and he said, "Doctor, he said, haven't seen my putts in 3 years. What do I do?" And the doctor says, "Well, diet." And Tip says, "What color?"
As the person that sounds like this and you guys sound like that, I'll just leave that out there.
What do you mean, you guys? What do you mean, you guys?
You, them.
What you mean, you
them.
people?
What do you mean?
What you mean, you people?
Them pronouns.
Remember that movie, Tropic Thunder?
You don't know me.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
What you
All
mean,
my
you
life.
people?
So you're telling me that there's a lot of movies that you haven't seen. Like, what are some of the most?
Well,
Because I know you keep on hitting.
hasn't
I know
seen
Brandon
Pulp
keeps on
Fiction.
hitting these. First of all, for Pulp Fiction, dude, I gotta take your man card.
Top 10 of all time.
That is one of the best
This is
fucking
top
movies.
10 of all time.
One of the most quoted fucking movies that anybody
right?
will ever fucking.
It's true.
Apocalypse Now. Have you ever seen Apocalypse
No.
Now?
Oh,
How about you've seen
Jesus.
Goodfellas, right?
No.
Get
What?
the fuck
Yes,
out.
it's Goodfellas.
No Goodfellas.
Okay,
What do you-
I'll
Why?
I'll rattle off a list of movies and then I'll explain to you guys.
So, like,
why,
have you seen
right?
3 movies at least?
I have.
I mean, like, what have you seen?
You've seen all the Rockies, though.
That
right?
might be easier.
I've seen the majority of the Rockies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank, yes.
Suck.
Okay.
I've seen like I love Cars, so like anything Cars, Gone in 60 Seconds, both of the like new ones and
Fast
the
and
older ones,
Furious?
Fast and Furious.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's
That's how I know
whack.
you're
Yeah.
gay.
That's how I know.
Well,
you watched
you
all
found
10
out
of them.
another way.
When did that stop being about fucking cars? Like they started
yeah.
robbing banks and shit.
Since probably the third one.
I've
yeah.
seen the first one, and that was enough.
that's all I
for me.
saw.
that was, I can't watch
Well,
it.
but
can't do it.
like for me, like I just love the cars, right? Like I always want to see what type of different cars they have. Like I'm a car guy, right?
Go
like,
to
I just
Universal. They
love-
have them there. Right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I actually, whenever I went to Vegas, I like wanted to drive like a Lamborghini. I was like, I want to rent a Lamborghini for the day. Right? I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I ain't got that kind of money. What the fuck am I thinking? man?
$125
Expensive as hell.
$125.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
I should have done it.
For a
then.
Lambo?
Yeah. I mean, you only get it for like 3 hours, but it's
That's
fucking.
all right.
All you need is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All you have to say, I drove the bitch.
Now we know what his version of sex is. All you need is 10 minutes.
Hey, I just got to put, just like you, I just got to put the tip in.
Hey.
Just
Just
got to
the
put
tip.
the tip. Just the
Daddy.
tip.
Just the
Hey,
tip.
like we say, man, sex is a race, bro. You
Yeah.
better get there before I do.
It ain't my fault. She got to work on her time.
Yeah.
She got to work on
You
her
don't get
time.
yours? I'm sorry.
You got to work on your technique.
Yeah.
I owe you.
She's all, but it was like 5 seconds.
That's
Well,
on
yeah,
you.
know,
That's
what are
on
you gonna
you.
do?
This
It's like
shit
a
started
heavy-
when I came inside the room. That was foreplay, girl. Untie my shoe. You didn't
good.
see me looking at you?
Yep. It's like a heavyweight fight. We're scheduled to go 12, but it's going early. Boy.
This is a Mike
Let's go
Tyson fight,
early.
motherfucker.
and the opponent is Spinks.
Spinks, yes.
You won't get
You
it.
Spinks, girl. Put a gap in between your teeth.
Oh, it's a classy lady.
Okay,
So what have you seen?
I've never seen Star Wars.
Oh God!
Wow.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Okay, so I've tried, right? Like
It's not your
I
cup of
have
tea, right?
tried, and I've
get
never
it.
I've never bought the movies. Like I'll try to watch them whenever they're on TV
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to make the investment. And if I buy this movie and I don't watch,
Just
it,
don't watch
right?
episode 1.
Just go for the start?
So I did what they told me to do, which is like watch the old ones first.
Okay,
Sure,
yeah,
you got
all right,
to.
there you
And
go.
then go back and watch
yeah.
the others, right? So I started off with that one. I got like 30 minutes in and like I was asleep. And then I woke up, I was like, what fucking episode is this, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to.
Still the same
do it.
episode.
I did this like 3 or 4 times because I was like, I want to like.
You want to like it, yeah.
Just couldn't get through it, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any superhero movies since.
How about the movie
Daredevil.
Hairspray? You like Hairspray?
No.
Okay, I was testing him. I was testing him.
Never seen that.
Have you seen The Godfather?
No.
Oh my God, that's
But this is what I was
why
going to
is
tell
that?
y'all. This is what I was going to tell y'all, right?
great. You know,
No
You
God-
guys-
Okay, hold on. No Godfather. Wow.
and that's just a great movie. I mean,
Well,
it's
just the greatest.
But
right? I mean,
you
it's- yeah, I
guys
mean,
know something about someone that I grew up with. You guys have known my dad.
Yeah.
You guys have met my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad is now 92 years old. He's going to be 93 this year. We grew up without cable.
Okay.
We grew up with like hardly having a TV. We had like the 3 channels or whatever like that. We even had like the TV that was on the floor. and,
Well,
like,
there's
all
a
that.
VCR. There's this thing they call
But
Crazy invention.
I don't know if y'all know this about my dad. My dad is both my mother and my father on my adopted family are the children of Baptist ministers.
Okay.
So the only TV we ever watched was going to be church.
Oh.
So we grew up with like watching all that stuff. Anytime that I saw movies, like I saw The Crow and stuff like that, it would be
wow.
because I snuck out to my brother's house. And me being 9 years younger than my brother, obviously he didn't want me over there all the time, right? My
Right,
brother's
right.
trying to get
But
some
tell
shit
us the
going
first time you watched porn.
he's like,
Was
I
it
was like
Baptist
5.
porn? Was it Baptist
He
porn?
was Baptist.
How old are you now?
on. That was actually a week and a half ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been right ever since. It explains the whole world to you now, right?
What does Baptist
I
porn look like?
understand now.
They're churning butter and
Churning butter, showing ankle.
a
They're
little
in
bit of
sheets
ankle.
the whole time.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Tip, you're the man.
So like we didn't get cable in my house until I was about to move. Like until I was 18, I was about to get the fuck out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Then they were like, well, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm the youngest of 11.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
dad was like always going and doing his thing. We were always working and doing stuff like that. So anytime we had a home, it was more than likely we were resting. We had cows and chickens. Like I grew up super country, right? So
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning, we're irrigating on Fridays, milking the cows, doing all the stuff that we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't watch porn before the cow.
Oh,
It would have fucked you all up,
That would have
dude.
been a weird wood morning.
it took about 5 years for me to realize that was a bull,
I was milking the shit out that motherfucker.
and that didn't stop me either.
Oh,
but yeah,
shit.
so like I grew up that way, right? Like we didn't have a lot of stuff. So like even now, movies don't really interest me. I have the ones that do interest me, right? Like I'm gonna be one of those idiots that watches Fast X, and I'm gonna be like, oh, this movie's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like they jumped the shark fucking 7 movies ago, but here I am,
Right.
But my thing was always sports, right? So I would watch sports whenever it would come on, and then whenever it would go to like whatever movie came after sports, I'd be like, well, this is fucking boring.
Yeah.
That was just the way that I grew up.
So then you do sports movies at least?
Yeah,
You
like,
do
like
the
I
Rudy?
love sports movies. I've never seen Rudy.
Of course not. God forbid. I mean, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, I've seen Jerry Maguire.
Of course, because you complete me. Of course you'd see that shit. You complete me. This motherfucker.
Yeah, he's the one quoting it though, right?
I
off the
quote
top of his
everything.
head.
I
Help
quote,
me help you.
I'll quote the Jets and the Sharks, boy.
Show me the money,
West Side Story. I'll quote everybody. I watch all kinds of shit. Those are
He knows
best
all the
songs.
dance moves in
So
there.
like one of my favorite sports movies was Any Given Sunday,
Okay.
and everyone's like, "Well, it's not like really like football." It's like I don't want my sports movies to be like the
No,
actual
you don't want to
sport,
work.
right?
Right.
Like I want it to be like over the top. Terrell Owens was like a third wide receiver for the 49ers at the time that movie came out.
Yep.
He was like the star wide receiver in this movie, right? And it was just like awesome to see those types of movies. And then like I love stoner movies.
Oh.
So
okay.
my rebellion against my dad was I'm going to do stuff that my dad doesn't want me to do type of things, right? So as I was going to go get high, I was going to watch a ton of stoner movies with my brother.
Did you watch Cheech and Chong?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Dazed and
That's
Confused.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
movie. Great movie.
Fast Times, fucking
Ridgemont High.
How High and stuff like that.
Half-Baked.
dude.
Oh, you Fast Times in
Half-Baked.
Richmond High?
Great,
Oh,
great movie.
man.
Half-Baked.
So
good
like
movie.
comedies and stoner movies, like that's my wheelhouse, right? Because that's like the type of stuff that I love. And then like action movies, I still like some westerns because whenever we did watch westerns with Dad, it was always like Roy Rogers and John Wayne and stuff
Oh
like
shit!
that.
Yeah, the OG shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have like a huge, like this wall would be nothing but movies from like the 1950s and 1960s.
Damn.
And obviously like a section there of like all the
Porn.
shitty, sad.
But there was movies behind those movies.
There's always movies behind those
There-
movies.
They were standing up this way.
They're stuck to the wall.
It was like American Pie where he's like, go to the library and like look under this and you'll find all that you need.
Did you ever go in between the mattress?
I tried.
Oh shit!
They see Tip
just got
stooping the butter. It was being churned instead of the pie.
Well, and then that was my thing too, right? Because like at 600, like one of the first things that they asked me was like, well, what type of movies do you like? I don't really like movies, right? Like I just do my thing. And Mondo Medina was like, well, we got to take away your man card because you've never seen Star Wars. I was like, I'm sorry, I was getting laid while you
Yeah,
guys were
no.
watching fucking Star Wars, man.
right?
No,
Like,
that's
was-
the worst movie you could actually say. I would take your back card.
Yeah,
too.
and like the more I've seen things about Star Wars, because like as far as TV goes, like I said, I love comedies. The Big Bang Theory, that's like my thing, right? And seeing those people that like Star Wars or like the people in Big Bang Theory, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'd say I'm much more of a man than you, my guy. And that's not a slight at anybody out there. Please listen to the show, Fire and Ice.
But if you like Star Wars,
But if you like Star Wars, don't
You
watch
can go
it.
fuck yourself.
Oh, shit! But to be
man.
fair, Leonard got a fucking hot chick though.
Yeah,
To be fair,
yeah. To be
she's
fair,
so fucking hot. So, oh fuck, dude. Because I know we're talking about this the other day. We're talking about, and I know you're not a movie guy. We're talking about like all the different comics and movies that would not make it nowadays because of all
Tropic
the
Thunder.
fucking Tropic Thunder because of all the fucking
they started-
racist shit that they had
they
said.
started busting what's his name's balls. Adam
Robert?
No,
Or,
Adam Sandler. Or
For what?
not Adam Sandler.
Ben
fucking,
Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
For that movie?
Yeah, for that movie.
They wanted
'cause
him to apologize.
Yeah, they
For-
said, "Would
for
you?"
Simple
yeah,
Jack.
Simple Jack.
yeah.
You never go full retard.
And it was like, "Would you? Do you
My
take that
head
back? Would you?
knows.
Do you regret that role or whatever?" And
Yeah.
he was like, "No,
Because
it's comedy."
yeah, dude, but
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like recently, we haven't seen any comedies released. Like you get the comedy specials on Netflix, and like those are okay. I love Dave Chappelle, but I feel like he's staying on one subject way too long. Like I think it's 5 specials about trans people now.
Right.
It's like okay, let's move on to something else. Right?
It's
Like,
still
it
funny
was-
to me.
I mean, yeah, no, like
just funny.
Like it's funny, but like with Dave Chappelle, you always expect more, right? And it's like 45 minutes about these people don't understand that I'm doing this, and now it's funny to me. But it's like okay, when has there been a good comedy in like the last 5 to 6 years that's been in the movie theater? They haven't released any of them.
It's been, I mean,
Yeah, nothing really
It wasn't
original.
Dumb and Dumber
Did
2,
you-
that's for sure.
Because that's
So-
the
Oh,
thing,
that's
right?
one of the funniest movies of all time.
The first one,
not
the first one
second
was
one.
hilarious.
hilarious.
I love that movie.
I love it, too.
That's
Which
my
one?
favorite.
The-
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
The second
dude,
one,
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
The
second
second
one
one
was trash.
Oh, I
Trash.
didn't see the second
Trash.
one.
was trash.
You didn't
Dumb
miss
and
anything.
Dumber.
Yeah, you didn't-
No,
you didn't
no,
miss
the first one
It was stupider.
is
It was
fucking hilarious.
stupider.
The first one was great.
Stupid as
You know
shit.
what? To me, one is the greatest comedy I've ever seen to this day is My Cousin Vinny.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that
The
movie.
Utes.
all the youths.
Remember, you know, he hasn't seen it.
I think I've seen parts of it, right? Like he's a lawyer.
Yeah, there you go.
fucking
At least
hilarious.
you saw
Marissa,
parts of it.
Marissa Tomei.
Oh my
Jesus.
God!
Oh,
Is she a
man.
fox in that
Dude,
movie
the
or what?
accent, the accent is what does it for
the
me.
New York.
She's
She's
still hot.
already
She's
here.
still hot,
Accent, yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Oh,
she was
God
pretty on The
bless her.
Wrestler.
Yes,
she was.
You know,
yes.
that was like what
She was
20
a
years
stripper.
later. Yeah, she's hot. So
Yeah,
hot.
she was.
Was she Spider-Man's grandma now?
Yeah, Spider-Man's grandma. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
still hot.
She's still hot.
I mean,
dude.
come on now. She may be 60, but she's still a damn good-looking
She's
woman.
hot, yeah.
That's where we're
Gina
at now.
Davis.
Gina Davis.
Gina
Oh
Davis.
my God, Gina
Oh,
Davis.
Gina Davis never did it for me.
You know
Really?
what? She always did it for me in the
I always
movie
knew you were
Hero.
gay.
Love-
Always knew it.
What?
Yeah,
Which
no.
one?
Not you.
Oh yeah, very.
Gina Davis? No, I got to be with
Like,
you.
yes,
She didn't
please.
do nothing.
Nah, Gina Davis.
Gina
wasn't
Davis
good.
and Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
She looked very good,
No,
but she looked good in the
Beetlejuice
movie
was
Hero
better.
too.
Beetlejuice was hotter.
Yeah.
Can't
Love
go wrong
the
with
makeup.
Batman.
Oh,
Can't go wrong
dude.
with Batman. The OG
Kim
Batman.
Basinger.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale.
Damn.
Who is that? Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale.
Hey, we see now Batman's gonna come out, or Michael Keaton's gonna come out in the new
Oh, I love
Flash.
it.
They're gonna show him in that, so I can't.
That's cool.
That's
That's
gonna be fun.
this
Really?
summer.
Yeah, he's
Yeah?
coming out in the
Michael
new
Keaton's
Flash
back, man.
as Batman.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be.
So they're
fucking
making a
sick.
Flash movie. Didn't they do something with that guy? Like,
Yeah, it's
he
because that
flipped
dude's
out?
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He's a he, they, them, it's, and he fucking flipped out and started punching motherfuckers. And, yeah, dude, he's like all of them. All of them.
One of them people.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
you see, and
What do you mean?
I'm
them?
surprised it really.
multiple individuals.
yeah.
Multiple
They all live
personalities.
there. They all live there.
Like the movie Split. You saw that one, right? I hope
No.
if you didn't, it was good.
You didn't see Split?
It was pretty decent.
I've seen
Actually,
what is it, Unbreakable?
Yeah,
I haven't seen Split
that's
yet,
the sequel.
'cause I know Split.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Split's good.
Yeah.
That's another one. M. Night. He makes like 2 good movies every 30 years.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's kind of he's kind
The
of
last movie he made was terrible.
Didn't he just come out with one?
Yeah, I
that
saw
Cabin.
it. Cabin.
Is it good?
I didn't care for it. I thought it was
Really,
stupid,
with that wrestler?
yeah, that big big
Oh,
guy.
that's right.
Batista.
But still, the best movie he's ever made is the one with Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What am I? You
Sixth
remember
Sense?
the Sixth Sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best twist ending ever.
that shit was crazy.
Great twist ending. Best ever.
That was a
I
trip,
have seen
dude.
that one.
Great.
That
movie.
one you have seen?
Great movie.
That one I have seen.
That's a hell of a flick.
So then, since you haven't seen movies, what is the best movie you have seen? What is the
Ever?
like your all time ever?
yeah, you could watch
Fucking-
it
was it
20
like-
times over again.
Like Sesame Street in space.
Willy Wonka,
Elmo,
and Chocolate Factory.
Elmo.
There we go.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one.
The original though.
Yes.
Elmo plays with Big Bird.
Okay, so like a movie that I'll stop on all the time.
Debbie Does Dallas.
There we go.
That Gone with the
Deep
Wind?
Throat.
It's the all anal scenes on on Pornhub.
Damn, I want to see your fucking search.
No, you don't.
I want to see his shit. We're gonna pull it up right now.
Don't get it.
He
on
got
that.
some crazy ass
We
shit.
pull it up and pull it out. Like, it's that simple.
There's things
Oh,
about you I
pull
don't
it up,
want to
he-
know.
If he pull it up, he
What
will pull
is
it out.
What is it?
So Gone in 60 Seconds is always going to be one of them. Like I love Mustangs, like
Yeah.
as you saw, right?
No,
and
I
then
love that
like
car, yeah.
one of my favorite ones is like it's a more recent Western movie, The Magnificent Seven, with
Oh,
Denzel
wow.
Washington and stuff like that.
Have you
It's
seen
a
The
little
Hateful
long.
Eight?
I have not yet.
That's a good Tarantino flick.
Tombstone. Tell me you've seen
Oh,
Tombstone.
dude, that's another
my
one. I will
shit.
stop on
dude,
that one
yeah.
anytime.
I can't go wrong with
Like
Tombstone.
I don't care if it's like on TV with the commercials. And
Yeah.
shit. I will.
You gotta
sit
watch
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Quentin Tarantino films. I
Yep.
love
The
Inglourious
Departed.
Bastards.
The Departed's another one. The
Departed,
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, like,
Inglourious
those are movies I
Bastards
love.
to me is an incredible film.
Hell yeah.
And did you know
Well,
that?
you know he's Jewish.
Well,
so
no, I was
obviously,
gonna
like,
say
the way
no.
they
I
tore
love
her
that
up-
shit.
Anytime
man.
they kill
I am,
fucking-
but did you know that,
Anytime they
Adam
kill-
Sandler was supposed to be the Jew Bear? But
Oh,
he was,
was he?
film- he
With
was
the- with
filming,
the bat? Yeah.
But he was filming another movie and he couldn't do it.
He
So-
would've pulled
So
that
it was
shit
that
off.
Eli Roth guy who
Yeah.
also is a good Jew Bear.
Yeah.
Bear
Kid.
Eli
Jew,
Roth is
Jew
crazy.
Bear,
He
same
makes
thing.
his,
Jew
some-
Bear.
Jew
Is he
Bear.
the one that made Saw and all that?
I think so.
Yeah,
Jew
he-
Bear. He's still laughing
He's
about
still
it.
with the.
I was like, he's got to get it right, man. He's a Jew bear.
Yes, bitch. I know what you're talking about. Oh,
The Jew Bear.
yeah.
The Bear Jew.
I know it sounds dumb, but like whenever I saw the commercial for it, like during the AFC Championship game, I was like, I gotta watch this fucking movie.
Oh God, are you kidding?
Cocaine Bear.
Oh, great movie.
Like
Really?
it seems like it's gonna be dumb
No.
as shit.
Oh, it's
dumb
gonna
as
be
shit.
fucking
It's
horrible.
good though.
I just saw it.
Is it horrible?
Hey, so
it's gotta
you
be a
watch,
so-
you
so-
watch everything.
So yeah, I do. I love. I go to movies like once a week usually, and
Okay.
so Cocaine Bear it's got the late great Ray Liotta. So to me, it's
Oh,
worth
it's his
seeing
last
'cause
movie.
I think it's his last movie, and then it's like a horror movie almost with all the gore and shit. But it's like kind of like like it'll entertain you for an hour and a
Like
half.
a 70s
Nothing to
slasher
write
film.
home about, but I mean, go see it. What the hell? It's nothing
Yeah.
Well,
else.
I mean,
out there,
your expectations for that movie should be super low.
yeah,
It's a bear on cocaine.
and if you go in
fucking
low,
amazing.
it's kind of like okay,
Kind of like
I mean,
Sharknado. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Exactly, dude. I mean,
how
it's-
was it? It fucking sucked, but it was awesome.
it was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So,
It was like
that
what the
happened
fuck?
one of the 80s or the 90s?
I think it was in the 80s.
That's what.
And the bear, they actually have the bear on display in Kentucky, I think.
They would.
The actual bear.
Yeah, they would.
They killed
That
it.
motherfucker's still wired. He's like,
He still twitches every now and
Yeah,
then.
He just can't open his jaw anymore.
They stuffed him, and it's like there's the cocaine bear.
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that that's a true story.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Well,
is
okay,
all the
so-
shit
so
that
it's-
happens is all Hollywood in the movie,
Yeah,
but
like,
it is true about
this,
the cocaine.
This is what happened if people were around a
Right.
bear that did a bunch of cocaine.
Right, but the bear, it is a true story. It's loosely based on a true story.
Right.
All the shit you see in the movie, I understand. Like none of that shit actually happened. But the bear did
Did-
find
did he
cocaine.
eat- he did
ate
eat
some
it.
cocaine.
Yeah.
He was all, ooh, that smell.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't eat some cocaine.
He
He ate a lot of
He
cocaine.
ate like 30 fucking kilos of
Yeah,
cocaine.
So he was fucked up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Scarface
Like-
ain't got shit on him.
He was like, whoa.
No way.
Scarface can't play that game.
Hell no.
30 kilos?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They found the bear dead and next to a bunch of other cocaine.
Okay, yeah. that's
he
all
He
right.
tried though.
Hey, he
tried
went
to
out,
finish it
out
all.
partying, that's for sure.
He's not a quitter.
No, he isn't, man. He kept going for more.
Damn.
You talk about a great hibernation.
There's no coming
Dude,
back.
I
It's the
felt like
best
I
way to
slept
go
for
out.
4 years.
God
You
damn.
did, motherfucker.
He's like, this is some good shit.
that bear ain't even stuffed. Like it's still alive. They're just waiting for it to wake up.
Yeah. I'm
these
telling you,
years
his
later.
eyes are wide open, can't open his jaw and
Funny,
shit. He's
man.
just
Have you seen any Scarface?
Oh yeah.
All right.
okay.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
At least you see that.
That's another one too. Like
Baltimore.
I think it was like 2 years ago or so. Like when I first moved into my house, every night, like for whatever reason, on HBO, fucking Scarface was on. And it didn't matter what part of the fucking movie. I'm like, I'm watching this until I go to bed.
Yeah.
And you cannot sleep during fucking Scarface,
No.
man.
No,
It's so fucking good.
No, I agree. I mean, fuck.
Especially with the
What
cocaine. I
balls
mean, you
in
know.
Well,
what it's
every
doing,
every
right?
time he does a bump, I do a bump.
Right? Yo, I'm not going to be
Hey,
able to
we're
get a lot
going
of...
blow. We're going blow
Blow
for
for
blow.
blow.
I'm not getting a lot of sleep tonight. But that's another drug movie that was great, was Blow.
Yeah,
I
that one was
love
good.
that movie.
Anytime
that
Pee
was
Wee
good.
Herman
See that
comes
one?
out,
Yeah.
anytime
And he
Pee
did
Wee
a
Herman
good
comes
role.
out-
And he
Hell
did a good
yeah.
role. And Johnny
Yeah, he
Depp
did.
is great. You know, I mean, you got to see
can't
Blow.
go wrong with
Good
Johnny.
drug movie. Yeah,
I've been wanting to watch that one.
it's a good one.
It's good.
That's a good
I'll
one.
get around to it.
Yeah, just
Great
don't go-
soundtrack too.
Don't go
Any
line for
drug
line.
movies like mafia movies,
drug movies are
and
good.
yeah, that's fucking great. Just watch them.
Jeez.
Two Guns. Two Guns is another good movie I like.
That's what Denzel and
Mark
Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark.
Yeah.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
I think it says a lot about me, like my range of movies that I like. It's like drug
a little bit.
movies, fucking stoner movies, and then
And
comedy.
people just shooting everybody.
yeah,
that
I'm
makes
down
sense.
with it.
That makes sense.
And then bears on cocaine.
Dude, think about it. That has been the scariest fucking animal you could ever see, dating back to like a T-Rex. Is a fucking bear
Oh, yeah.
after 30 tons of fucking cocaine in the system.
You're not getting away.
Imagine that shit, dude. There's no way you could do anything with that shit, dude. That
Oh, you
motherfucker would
wanna
rip through
hide in the
They're
buildings.
car.
scary.
huh?
They are scary.
Bam.
Think about that. The fucking sheer power that motherfucker had at that time.
We had a black bear on base once whenever I was up in Alaska, right?
Uh-huh.
We had a black bear on base at the gas station. I didn't realize there was a fucking bear at the gas station because I'm from fucking El Paso, Texas. I think that's a fucking fake bear, right?
He's all, he's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
petting
Why
it,
is
you know,
it
he's
moving
like,
and
hey.
shit?
So like I go and I'm like pumping gas and shit, and people are like, "Get the fuck in your car!" I was like, "I gotta get gas, dude." Like,
Fuck
fucking
off.
weird ass Alaskans. Get the fuck out of here, guy.
So what's this other boot?
And then like they like, "There's a fucking bear." I was like, "There's a bear?
Where?
And where's this fucking bear at?"
It's like standing
They're
right
not,
behind
like,
him.
I didn't realize it was as big, like, because I always picture like a bear on like 2 feet, like up in the air doing this,
Yeah.
right? It was like down on all fours, just walking.
Dude,
I was like, well, it's not bothering me. I'm not gonna fucking bother it. I'm gonna
Yogi
get my
Bear.
gas and get the fuck out of here, right? I got written up,
Oh boy. Well, you're our putts.
endangering myself
You should have been in the car.
because I was military property.
Well, you know, I mean, you had it coming.
So same shit happened with a moose too. I think moose are
Was
docile.
it Marty?
But those are
Moose?
fucking huge, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
they're like
enormous.
they're
huge.
like the biggest animals. You know.
I had an F-150 at the time, and it was like a little lifted, right? Because Alaska, and I could have like parked my car comfortably under a moose.
Damn.
Yeah,
What the
they
fuck?
are
Motherfuckers are
enormous,
huge, bro.
dude.
Yeah.
You
That's
do
a
not
T-Rex, motherfucker.
Those motherfuckers are huge.
Well, and like my apartment, I was on the second story, and like I would look out the window in the springtime because a moose would just like be in your yard. You'd look out the window, and like the moose is almost at eye level with you, and I was on the second story. Like these things are enormous,
He's
man. I
like,
did
what
not
you eating,
realize.
motherfucker? All right.
Like, what do you do at that point if you come
is that a
encounter
moose
with a
bird?
fucking moose? Like, what do you do?
They tell you to fucking like don't
Run?
run, but like swiftly move away in the opposite direction.
Are they like
Because-
Oh,
alligators?
they'll
that they-
fucking they'll attack your ass.
They can run 45 miles an hour and they will go after you.
God.
Really?
Yeah, and then they don't look like they're running that fast, but they fucking move, dude.
like gazelles.
yeah, because they're so big, right? So like
Yeah.
they don't look like they're moving. But imagine being chased by Shaq.
Oh,
Oh no, thank you.
I could beat Shaq in a race. Not
No,
a
you
fucking-
can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, because the last thing I'm gonna be wanting to do is get hit in the back of the head with his dick while he's running. That race. I'll be running like a motherfucker. I'll be
he's
like
all here.
Usain Bolt.
Why are you running backwards with your mouth open?
He's out here. Hold this.
Show me what you got. He's like, "Ugh."
He's like, can you hold this for a minute, please? Or-
Damn,
That
that'd be
motherfucker
the-
knocks himself out running.
Oh,
God
shit.
damn.
All right, so let's bring it back to sports.
Wait a fuck.
talking about bats.
we found the line.
Like the whole show. This is what Tip
Right.
does every week.
Talking about bats.
So let's talk about ballet. He starts to, he changes the subject on me. Okay, thank God I don't let you do
Oh
that.
shit! Yeah, we got to draw the line on Shaq's dick. That's just a bit.
Hey, that's sports though. That is sports.
Yes, it is. I don't want to see Shaq's dick. You probably
legendary.
can't make a free throw either. I can't fucking make a free throw either. So now the sports coming about. you guys in baseball, is it still as big now with the Chihuahuas here, or who the fuck? Yeah, it is Chihuahuas, right?
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause they were
10-year
winning, right?
anniversary. No, they're good every year, man. That's the thing about the Chihuahuas. They seem to be changing a lot of managers lately, and they're competitive every single year. I mean, this is their 10th anniversary already. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but I feel that it's been a very successful organization, and every year we see that major league talent. We see a lot of great players that come through the systems, and I mean, to me, it's a wonderful thing for the city. It's probably the best thing that's ever happened to El Paso, I mean, especially sports-wise, other than, obviously the minors in the 60s, but I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but going to a Chihuahuas game is fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it'll cost you a mortgage to go. You know what I mean? But it's still damn fun. Dude, I'm talking like the hot dogs and the beers. This shit's expensive over there.
You got to eat and drink there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a minor league park with major league prices. But, I mean, I love it. Tip and I, we go and get our greens.
Beautiful park.
It's one of the probably the nicest in the minors, right?
Yeah.
What you think?
So for me, like, I love baseball, right? But like I said, like I'm just a sports guy, right? You give me the three major sports, I'm a happy person. I think that baseball, like El Paso to me has always been more of a baseball town than a football town.
Yeah.
Just because, like, look at all the baseball talent we've had come out of El Paso, right? Like, there's always great baseball here.
Recently.
I just think that people need to realize this, though. It's minor league baseball.
Right.
It's not the Yankees. It's not, these big name teams that we're all expecting to see, like, oh, why aren't they always in the playoffs? Why don't they have a huge payroll? They're not in charge of their payroll.
Right.
Right? Like, it's the major league club that's in charge of it. You get good, they take you out.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it hard for fans to connect with sports is whenever you have player movement. We're talking about that with the NBA,
rotating, right?
That's what minor league baseball is. They stay here for a little bit. Whoa, wow, this guy's really good. Well, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's not as good. Well, now he's a trade piece so we can get someone better and then move somebody down. Right? That's what minor league baseball is. The thing that's always strange to me about the city of El Paso whenever it comes to like supporting teams is the Chihuahuas can be great. And nobody's at the fucking games.
Yeah, it is a little weird. They don't draw flies sometimes.
And then that's the thing that like everyone here is always talking about. Well, we want a winner. Well, the year that they won the championship,
was it
their
first
playoff
year, right?
It was like their third year.
It was
Their
2016.
their playoff attendance
Shit.
was like 2,000 people in the park.
Right.
And even recently when they were runners up, it was like, a weekday playoff game. And I'm talking like when there was actually more than just one round, the championship round, which is asinine, because they just played a championship round now. It's stupid as shit. But like it was their version of the ALCS or the NLCS, and it was like a Tuesday night, and there was like, friends and family in the stands, and everybody's like defending them. Well, it's a school night. I don't give a shit. I mean, you
Support
got,
their team.
you're one of like, 3 teams or 4 teams in the whole league that's in the postseason with a chance to win another title, and you got friends and family. There's friggin' peanut vendors outnumber the fans. It's like, that's unacceptable, right? I mean,
I would like to go more often. I mean,
it's great. We got to go to a game, dude. We haven't been to a game in a month of Sundays.
You see, I'm not big on that. I'd rather go to the locomotive. I think those are a lot fucking
it's not
fun.
soccer.
Well, yeah, I mean, soccer, like obviously,
big
like
soccer
soccer atmospheres are amazing.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's just
I heard. I've
fucking-
never been to one.
Dude,
one
you
of
got to
those. I
sit
heard
at where the goal is. That's where their little fat club is. You would be fucking rolling
the
with the
eight
shit that they
notch or
say.
whatever they're called? Yeah.
Shout
Dude,
out
those
to them.
motherfuckers are
They're
hilarious.
nuts.
Oh, yeah.
But they're nuts.
They make me
And-
fucking laugh the whole game.
And that's like the cool thing about them, right? Is like they brought traditions from like old school soccer places, right?
Yeah.
Where they meet up at a bar at a Whiskey Blonde. They
Okay.
march as an entire unit to the stadium. So you're talking about like 2-3 blocks, right? Like not a long march, but they're banging their drums. They got the smoke going up and all that
Oh,
stuff.
and they come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they already have their seats because they're like season ticket holders
Right.
and stuff like that. So like whenever you have a fan base that's that invested in it, that's what makes it fun, right? They haven't won much.
No.
They've not
the
been
playoffs.
They made the playoffs 2 years ago, right? They've
Yeah.
been around
They
4
keep
years.
changing coaches,
right?
too,
And that's the thing, right? Is again, it's not MLS. It's not
No.
whatever the good leagues in soccer are. I'm not a soccer guy. But it's good enough for like here, and you have
Right.
a diehard fan base.
Yeah.
I would love to see UTEP get that.
Yeah.
UTEP has done a terrible job at like engaging fan engagement. They're doing better now,
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
like for a long time it was, well, you guys are going to be here no matter what. We're all that there is here in town, right?
Right.
I would love to see the Chihuahuas do that. The Chihuahuas actually, to me, do a good job. I would like to see them do a better job.
They
right?
have
Yeah.
some good promotions.
Yeah,
this year,
they've
too.
got phenomenal promotions. Like
Star
they got-
Wars, and they're
yeah.
giving, speaking of Star Wars, but they're giving away a 10th year anniversary ring.
Oh,
and
shit.
they got like a bunch of cool giveaways, man.
And
you know?
like And they have little themes throughout like the whole week to try to get fans to show up to the game.
And they have all these different shticks. I mean, like Wednesday Wing Day, and
bring your dog.
$2. Well, bring your dog. Bark at the Park Sundays, and then Thursdays like $2 beer, $2 hot dogs. So they got a bunch of shticks they do every single week, which is not when they're home.
They even had like a laundry day or some shit.
Yeah, Tip brought all his laundry.
Yeah, that's where all those
laundry day.
Washing all the banana hammocks and G-strings, baby.
Shit.
Shit look like
Tip saw, why don't they have a lingerie
Shit look
day?
like a big ass curtain.
Lingerie day. I'd go.
So talking about YouTube, what? So is it the basketball program that's actually bringing more people in? Is it the football program?
The football program,
because the
will always
football
bring more in.
program. I mean, they haven't done much since.
Since ever?
Shit.
Since ever?
Since Seth Joyner was on. I mean,
Well,
I mean,
the last time UTEP won a bowl game was 1967
Against
right?
Florida
Jesus
State, yeah.
Yeah.
Christ.
So and it
Oh,
was
I remember that game.
and it was yeah, you would. It was the last time the Raiders were good.
Oh, this mother.
They weren't even in Oakland yet. They weren't even in Oakland yet. Where they were, I don't know where they were.
The Raiders have moved 5 times since they won a Super Bowl. But anyway, so like UTEP football hasn't won a bowl game since 1967, right?
Pathetic.
But even their worst crowd over the last decade has been like 13,000. That's more than could pack the Don Haskins Center.
yeah. Was it
So
Don Haskins
football's
only holds
always
like
gonna
11?
Well, I
bring-
mean, they do have a 50,000 seat stadium.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like football will always be dominant.
Yeah.
I mean,
but-
the Haskins is
Yes.
hardly ever sold out.
yeah, no, I mean,
And then football ticket prices
lately
are
it
more
hasn't been. It
expensive.
has years. It hasn't
Yeah.
been. It's sold out. Yeah.
So even UTEP's worst crowd is better than what they could possibly imagine doing at the Don.
yeah, and I mean, the team has had some. Last year they did make a bowl game. So
And that's
Mexico
the thing, right?
Bowl. I mean,
And that's the thing is, like, again, the expectations of fans. I'm always like this guy. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm realistic. I'm not
they're
the
gonna
next
lose
year's
in
our
the
year,
second
this
year.
and that, right?
I mean, that's second
So
round, rather.
for me, it's like you should have your expectations, and this is where I think the fans do it to themselves. The fans will be like, "Oh, this is going to be our year that we're going to win a bowl game." I've got 55 years of history that says you're not. Yeah. right?
Not this year.
You're not NMSU.
And
You don't go to a bowl game and win.
I'm actually
It's true.
I'm actually in the process of writing a book about UTEP football history because I think it's fascinating. Like
Really?
the
That's some
ineptitude,
good athletes.
the ineptitude,
They really have.
the ineptitude that they've had for 115 years now
Yeah.
is phenomenal. The fact that this is a team that a fan base thinks we can win national championships when over
no.
115 years they average 3 wins a year.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is not a good team
No.
ever, like historically ever. Right,
No,
like
no, they aren't.
the times that they won 10 games are the historical outlier.
Like
Yeah.
88.
yeah,
88.
so for
that's,
me, it's like
Bob Stoll.
for me, I'm trying to figure out where do you get these expectations of we should be winning bowl games, we should be doing this.
they never
My
have.
thing is, let's be competitive. Let's make it a real college atmosphere.
Right.
Just have the fans go crazy. But UTEP shoots themselves in the foot a lot with this stuff because they kind of also promote themselves as we're the best thing you got in town. 'Cause they kind of are.
Well, next to dreams.
Well, for me, it's Bucks. Whenever you get steak and lobster.
Oh, yeah. On Thursday. Don't forget about that.
And Brandon on
That's the
stage.
new one in town. That's the new one.
Brandon on the Iceman on the main stage. Iceman.
I would put them like fifth, right behind Chico's. They're top 5 for
He's
sure.
like, but the Chico's on Montwood,
On
not
Montwood.
even like the good Chico's
No,
on
no,
Allen.
the one
Yeah,
on
go there.
Dyer is
Not
my
on Dyer.
shit.
Not the one on Dyer.
But see, even when we had Mike Price, right?
Oh, those were some years.
I mean, we had Palmer, we had
Jordan
fucking
Palmer, Johnny Lee Higgins.
Yeah, Johnny Lee. We
You
had
some
Thomas.
great-
You had
Thomas had some
good
great,
fucking ball
great
players.
And they made 3 bowl games under him and still couldn't win.
Still
one.
couldn't win shit.
The closest
Because winning those games is hard.
it is because you play teams from different
Actually,
conferences.
good teams.
And there are
Yeah.
good. I mean, they played like Colorado. Was it Colorado State or Colorado? Yeah. Then in the Houston Bowl. Then they also lost in Alabama. Do you remember who they like? Akron? No, who the hell did they play? Yeah, and then they played
Andrus Eagles.
Yeah, they played
Well, okay, so
That was
they
a tight
played the
one.
Andrews Eagles.
That
They
was a
still
tight
lost.
one.
this is actually a funny thing that I found in like my history of researching UTEP football. They did lose to El Paso High School in a Sun Bowl in 1937.
Oh my
I
God,
can believe
Shut the fuck
that's
up.
crazy.
bro. Yeah.
Because I know the first 2 Sun Bowls were played at El Paso High.
Yeah, they lost to a high school team
How
in
the
the
fuck
30s.
do you lose to a? It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that was leather helmets, right?
it.
Not even helmets.
If they had
Yeah, they
helmets.
didn't have
they had
helmets back
helmets.
then. You know.
Bring those back.
Bring them back.
Yeah, imagine that today.
I want my sports to have more CTE.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. If they're not drooling, they're not trying.
As I said, I want as many steroids in baseball as possible.
Do you think they should do that?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's
absolutely.
It's fucking.
What, in baseball?
Yeah, in any. I think
It's
it should be in
it's
any
not
sport.
fun. They're not cheating.
It
It's
should
not
be
fun.
in any fucking
We're
sport.
gonna have
makes it
another
what? I mean, it
Sammy
makes-
Sosa and fucking
McGwire,
Mark McGuire. Everybody was
98s?
killing the ball.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, that's
It brought baseball
that's
back.
what
It
baseball
did.
was
It
coming
brought
back.
baseball back.
Baseball
Everybody
was
talking
dead
about
from
it.
'95. You know.
But this is the thing, right? Like back then, it was just like the batters doing all the steroids. Now you're going to have pitchers who are already throwing 100 miles an hour,
You had
throwing even
Clemens.
harder.
You had Clemens. That
Well,
was
Clemens
fucking
was doing
juicing.
that
Yeah,
shit.
he was juicing.
Okay, but yeah, so you look at the amount of like pitchers versus the amount of batters.
Right.
It was like 6-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Right? Like it's
but
not a
you
lot
know,
of pitchers.
my whole thing, and I hate this. I think it's fucking ridiculous about the steroid era. Is you're either going to let nobody in or allow everybody in,
Yep.
because you can't tell me that McGuire, Sosa, Clemens, all those guys aren't in the Hall of Fame at this point. It's like
No.
it makes no sense that those guys, some of the greatest players in baseball history, are still not in because they did steroids.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break.
and
Everybody
Barry
was doing
Bonds.
But
steroids.
look at Luis Gonzalez from the
know.
fucking Diamondbacks. He was in the home run race.
Yeah.
And he's a short
He's
ass
a little
dude.
fella.
But,
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
but
I mean,
this is also
Gary
the thing,
Sheffield
right?
and all
Right,
that.
For every Gary Sheffield, for every Barry Bonds, for like all these dudes, there was Chuck Knobloch, there was Fernando Vina. We have no idea who those guys are. Fernando Vina retired after a 15-year Major League Baseball career with 12 home runs.
Jesus.
He wasn't doing anything.
He was
Shame on him.
He was
Shame
the-
on him.
He was the first person that got caught twice.
Oh my God!
Right? On the Mitchell
Apparently he
report,
wasn't doing it
failed
right
twice.
then.
He didn't do the right ones.
Yeah.
And then like,
I got to stop taking this shit.
Who's his doctor? Who's
PEDs.
his doctor?
PED, not estrogen, motherfucker.
This isn't working. 12 home runs.
but like the way that I always thought about it is like, again, like it always comes down to the fans, right?
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez gets popped twice. I'm a Yankees fan, so I was all about this, right? The second time he got popped, it was because the Yankees fans were like, "Why is it taking so long to come back from an injury?" Well, HGH is going to help me recover, right? I've got to meet these things. My contract is heavy. I'm meeting these things. Let's go out there and get on the field. Oh, well, he got popped for steroids. Oh, look at that piece of shit trying to play baseball.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it came down to the fans just basically saying, "Okay, I don't like this anymore."
Yeah.
You cannot deny that like old baseball writers, because they're the ones voting for the Hall of Fame, didn't know that steroids were in baseball in the 90s because they were in the fucking locker rooms watching Mark McGuire.
Shut
put
up.
shit in
Yeah,
his ass.
Conseco, all
Right.
them motherfuckers.
The owners, all them, Bud Selig, all these fucking baseball people knew that there's steroids in baseball. Yet all of a sudden we're going to be like, oh my God, we can't let Barry Bonds in.
Yeah.
It was obvious that he was on steroids, right?
Yeah,
once his
because you
hands
see
swole up.
his body.
head.
You know,
He
what
went
I'm
from
saying?
180 pounds to 230
yeah
of muscle.
I mean, he was still a great player. I hate Barry Bonds, but I'm saying he was a great player.
You
He's
see,
an
I-
asshole.
You know, the
though.
only reason that he had such a bad relationship with anybody was
He was
because
an
how he
asshole.
he was an asshole. He
He's
treated
an
the
asshole.
media.
Yeah.
I
And
think-
that's bullshit. The writers, they don't like you, they don't vote you in. That's also bullshit. You know?
I saw
mean,
a crazy stat about Barry Bonds, just to like so people could understand how amazing he was. In 2004, he had an on-base percentage or an OPS of one, or not on base, an OPS, like where you have your slugging, your power, how many times you get on base, all that together, right? Of 1.422,
Oh my God!
right? The highest in the history of baseball.
1-4-2-2. That's
That
insane.
means if you had 2 hits in every game in baseball, and one of those hits was a home run, you would end the season with a 400 average and 162 home runs.
Jesus.
And you would still be 22 points lower than what Barry Bonds had
Holy fuck.
for that
Yeah.
season for his OPS.
But that also counts walks, though, right? Because they walked
Yeah.
the fuck
They were
out of him.
avoiding the shit out of him.
Well, yeah, 'cause he had to. You see, but
But
just
think
because
about
he
that,
had
he
the
still had
steroids,
50 home runs all the time.
yeah, but just
No,
because you
yeah.
had the steroids doesn't guarantee that you're going to hit a home run.
Yeah, Fernando Vina.
Because you have to fucking connect the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a 40-40 guy before. When
You
he
still
got to
work at it. You know what I'm saying? You still got to be a good player. I'm
You see,
saying.
and I just wish that Barry Bonds would have been a nice guy that everybody loved, because that would have been the ultimate fucking outliner.
I don't give a fuck.
I think they
He
would
was
have put
San
him
Francisco
in.
Giant.
Well,
Fuck
well,
him.
But they
So-
would have put him in if he was nice to everybody.
That's what they're doing with David Ortiz, right? David
Yeah.
Ortiz was on the Mitchell Report.
Yeah.
Oh, he
David Or-
was?
Yeah. So was Mike Piazza.
Yeah,
He's in the
Poppy.
fucking
Oh,
Hall of
Piazza,
Fame,
yeah.
right?
Piazza was.
So you got these guys that are in the Hall of Fame. Well, why? Oh, it's because the sports writers liked him.
Liked him, yeah.
Just because Barry Bonds was a dick doesn't mean he's not the greatest
No.
baseball player of all time.
That dude was a
They
fucking
say
asshole.
Jordan was a dick.
Yeah.
They say
Jordan was intense.
we saw Jordan's documentary and he's
Yeah.
like a fucking sociopath.
Right.
He's a fucking intense cat. I love it.
He was like, "Oh, that guy sneezed 5 years ago in my overall direction while he was on an airplane.
That was fucking
Fucking
awesome.
gonna get 50 on him."
He'll do it.
You know how fucking awesome that is of pettiness to hold that shit for 5 years? As in now's the day I'm gonna fucking unleash it on this.
Well,
fuck.
the one that I
That's
tell
awesome.
people, like, where you could tell he's a sociopath is like, "Oh, this guy scores 37 on Jordan for like the Bullets, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan's like, "Oh, at the end of the game, he was like, 'Good game, Mike,' and I took that personal because I'm fucking Michael Jordan and I'm crazy." Then Jordan comes back and drops like fucking 50 on him, right? Because that's what Jordan did.
Yep.
20 years later, Jordan's like, "No, that never happened." the guy didn't say anything to me. I just needed,
made it up.
I just
Wasn't me.
needed motivation.
Yeah, that is fucking amazing,
Like I just needed everyone to know that I'm so much better than this fucking guy, and I ruined his entire life.
dude. And I was so I know with LeBron just being celebrated as the all-time scorer or
Yeah,
whatever.
he passed Kareem.
Yeah, which is I think that says more to his longevity than his actual scoring.
Yeah.
My son and I were talking about this. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, if Jordan would have been in this era of basketball, he'd be averaging 50. The way he fucking played.
Well, it's a different. Yeah, it was a different
Yeah,
game.
I mean,
then, yeah.
because and not only that, he played the 82 games. He made sure every fucking game he was there.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no.
There was
sitting
no,
out
oh, I'm
and-
gonna take off the next 3 fucking games because I'm tired or because I went out last week. Or this dude made sure he played every fucking game, and that's after playing fucking 19, 18 holes of fucking of golf, coming in drunk as
He's
shit,
a freak of
smoking
nature,
cigars.
though. I mean, like
he still put
Roy,
up 40.
Like Roy Jones Jr., he would play basketball and then he'll go fight
Yeah.
every night. You know what I mean? And he was
Yeah,
just he'll perform.
and I just
Just a freak.
so the conversation of the GOAT, Jordan, Wilt, then you could have LeBron. Who would you guys take? Or is there somebody
okay.
else?
Hold on.
I'm going to start by prefacing this conversation by saying that I was blessed to see Jordan play in person many times. I saw him for the first time in '89 when I moved to Chicago, and then the last year I saw him in '98. Saw him the year they won 72 games, 95, 96 season. So, I mean, I'll just tell you right now that there is no question, no argument that Jordan is the greatest of all time, and not only because of the era that he played, and I know it's hard to compare eras, but because of the fact that he obviously was flawless in championships, and
Yep.
he played some of the greatest of all time. And I mean, he never had a super team. He never had a true center. He never, because the triangle they
Bill
didn't have a
Cartwright.
dominant center. They
Will
Cartwright, Will
Will
Purdue,
Purdue. Jesus Christ.
Wennington,
Longley.
Bill Wennington,
Barney.
So, yeah. It's like
Big Bird.
he was able to do it without that dominant center.
He would have done it.
And I mean, who the fuck retires for 2 years and comes back and wins 3 more and really could have won 8 in a row? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
if he stayed there, he would have.
He stayed there. So,
Amazing.
I mean, to me, the fact that you're undefeated in the finals, you're a 6-time Finals MVP, and that you were the clutchest player in the most crucial situations, really in NBA history. I mean, that speaks volumes. It's Jordan. He's the GOAT,
So
no doubt.
LeBron James has the most points in NBA history. Right? Undeniable fact. He's the only player in NBA history to be top 10 in every single offensive category, which is, again, mind-blowing. The reason why I believe it's Jordan is not just because of like what he did on the court. Like what he did on the court is amazing.
Right.
Being able to be, at the time that he retired, the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the history of NBA, and only playing 16 full seasons, where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played 22,
Right.
Wilt played 20, Karl Malone played another 20, LeBron played 20, Kobe played damn near 20. I think it was 21.
Something like
Right?
that. Yeah.
Jordan's up there with those guys playing 5 to 6 years less,
Yeah.
which is just mind-blowing, right? And what people don't realize is one of those years, he only played 15 games.
Was that
because
the year when he
broke his
came
foot.
back? Oh,
His
yeah,
se-
he broke
his
his foot.
second.
Oh, okay.
And then the other year that he came back, he played in 20 games,
Yep.
right? So there's 2 years there where you don't have even half of a full
He
season.
takes 2 years off.
Yeah. So
His prime.
it like
Yeah,
shows
right,
you
his
what
prime.
he did.
Yeah.
But you see Jordan's impact on basketball today because he was the dude that opened it up to a global audience, right? Like the Dream Team. Everything was centered around him.
Yep.
That's what got Manu Ginobili into it. That's what got Dirk into it. That's what got all these European stars that we're seeing now taking over the game into basketball was the influence of Michael Jordan.
Right.
What makes Michael Jordan great isn't the fact that he did so much on the basketball court, because that's undeniable, right? We're lucky enough that we got to grow up watching that. That was amazing to see. We are so blessed. Like that's how I feel people whenever they talk about like Tom Landry coaching.
Right.
Like that's how I feel people are. Like you were so lucky to see that. I wish I could have. I wish I could have seen like Bird and Magic play, but I was so young by the time they were getting ready to be out. Right.
It was amazing.
So he's like, it was amazing watching Bill Russell win his.
I saw a Kareem his rookie year.
His rookie year.
I have his rookie card.
He's like, I loved Red Auerbach.
But Jordan expanded the game and changed everything about it, from the culture to the style to the way that people even approach playing basketball. I don't know if you guys remember the documentaries. The Chicago Bulls at that time were called a cocaine-fueled circus.
Yeah, they were all
Right?
Yeah.
That's what the Bulls were. Jordan comes in here and makes them one of the best franchises in the history of the game. Up there with Boston, up there with L.A. Takes basketball to a global level now. Changed the complete game. LeBron James has been a great basketball player. There will never be another LeBron, just like there will never be another Jordan, right?
or Kobe.
But he never – Kobe was Jordan light, right? Like Diet Jordan. That's what Kobe was.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
What the
that's
fuck?
facts.
I'll
That's
take
facts.
Kobe over everybody.
No, well, Kobe
You're-
based his whole game around Jordan.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Everything about him. Everything about him.
But like Jordan's impact, that's what lasts. Like that's his lasting legacy.
Right.
What's LeBron's legacy in this game?
No, just building super teams.
Right. No.
Building
Yeah, I
super
mean,
teams.
you called
The
a spade a
decision.
spade. Jordan
Yeah.
never had a super team. Yeah, he had Pippen, he had Cartwright, he had whatever, he had Grant.
Cartwright.
Cartwright.
Exactly, my
Bill
point.
Cartwright
But the point
was
is that
dominating.
B.J.
and
Armstrong.
he had B.J. Armstrong. He had
Paxson.
Kerr.
Yeah,
But no, I
Paxson.
mean,
He had Robin for a year.
he
Or
did
a couple
3
years.
years,
3 years.
dude. Rodman
3 years.
and Rodman was an amazing player. He
But
was
that's
one of the best defensive and rebounders we've ever seen.
But that's also
Absolutely.
the thing is he got Rodman at a point where nobody wanted Rodman.
no, and he took him.
Right.
And he said, "Okay."
Because people
He
forget
put him
that
in his place.
Rodman was on the Spurs, and the Spurs traded him for Will Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had to get him
That's
out.
where Rodman
rid of
was
him.
at.
The greatest rebounder
Yeah.
in NBA history for Will Purdue.
Yep.
He was just came with a lot.
And you talk about a partier. That guy partied like a rock star and came in. And the thing is, he could score 20 points a night if he wanted, but he focused
It's all
everything on
defense.
rebounding. That's what it was. Like, we need you to rebound. Okay.
I mean, the motherfucker married himself. He married himself in a
if he could
dress.
stoop
That's a
himself, he
smart
would have been
man.
doing that too.
He probably did.
He probably
He
did.
probably did. They
But
got
smart man.
Electra.
And then even, like 98, the last championship, like Pippen was injured half the year.
Yep.
Rodman's antics. The Bulls were going to be broken up. Everybody was upset, whatever.
Yeah, 'cause they
and
knew
they
it was
still
over.
won a championship.
Yeah.
It's like, jeez. It's
I-
Jordan,
Yeah, to start the season with the owner saying that this is the last year I'm going to have these fucking guys here. That alone should be like, you know what?
Well,
fuck all this.
And
Right?
that's the thing, right? Like, I think with LeBron, you got a lot of what ifs. Like, what if he didn't leave Cleveland? Blah, 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 right? With Jordan, your only what ifs are, what if Jordan didn't stop himself by retiring twice?
Yep.
And what if the owner of the Bulls said, you know what, let's just keep this, let's
Keep it
ride
rolling.
this till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
They legitimately could have won 9 straight. Because I don't think the San Antonio Spurs, even though I love them in 1999,
That was
are
a strike
beating the
shortened
Chicago
season.
Bulls.
That was a
Right?
50-game season.
Yeah.
Bulls
So
win that
You
championship.
would have had
With
arrested
the Rockets?
Michael Jordan.
And I mean, you mean to tell me the Rockets were really good.
Yeah, they were good, but they
were
weren't-
good, but
They
they
weren't
weren't
Bulls
as
good.
good as those 90s Bulls.
Yeah, and they only won because he retired. Though.
Well, yeah, and the Knicks. Look at how many shots the Knicks had. They could never get past the
Nope.
Bulls.
No.
Indiana could never get past the Bulls. I mean, like I said, that's all the amazing players Jordan took
Went
care
through.
of.
I mean, shit, after getting beat by fucking Detroit over and all
yeah.
the bad boys of Detroit.
Finally overcame them. That
And then he was
monkey
a-
off his back.
But just imagine, like, if the Bulls had stayed together, Jordan stays on the Bulls, never goes to the Wizards, right?
Eight
They'd have
to
got
9
10.
to 10 a row.
Yeah, like that would have been 1984 to 2003. You would have had 19 years of Jordan. 2 years he doesn't retire in his prime. Basically 4 years, because at 38 he was still.
He would have got 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like it's really
8 to
feasible to
10.
think that, right?
8 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have had a young Kobe Bryant with Shaq in 2000. Does that team beat Michael Jordan?
Not yet.
Right?
not
Like they would have
yet.
to go through the learning curve.
Yeah.
You would have had a decade of Michael Jordan just dominating. if he didn't stop himself and if the owner was saying, I'll pay
See,
for
but
this.
the best part is that he did retire for 2 years and he did come back and get another three-peat. And to me, it kind of adds to the unique aura of the greatest team in NBA history, the way everything transpired. You know, it would have been nice to see them win the what ifs. They won 10 in a row. He doesn't retire. But the way everything happened, the way we lived that and saw that, it's fucking amazing. That was an amazing time.
If it wasn't for Space Jam, he never would have came back.
right?
That's when he came
love
back.
that movie.
Because he started getting guys to come in.
Gotta love Bill
and they were
Murray
fucking
and Bugs
balling
Bunny,
in
right?
between.
And then another part of that too was the strike-shortened season for Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
They
95, right?
didn't allow them to actually go out and practice and stuff. And for
point.
people that think that Jordan was going to fail at baseball, you're fucking naive.
Doing all right, man.
He went to
Holding his own.
Like it's weird to say this. He went to the Arizona League, and during that little bit of time that they were like doing their thing before he started filming Space Jam, he was batting .350.
Yeah.
That's Hall of Fame
was
numbers.
getting
right?
hits in the
Like-
majors.
Like he had finally,
Found his
kinda-
swing.
Yeah, like he was where he
all right.
needed to be.
Well, he hadn't played in 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck do you expect to
I mean,
even be on a team?
I would challenge anybody right now who hasn't like picked up a bat in ever to go to the batting cages at Bobo's and see what you hit.
Man,
There you go, Jules. There you go, Jules. Let's go to
Man,
Bobo's.
I can't hit the softballs, much less the fastballs. You know, I mean,
Oh,
and those are big. They're huge. Those balls.
Whoa.
Wait a minute,
Whoa.
pause.
Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Why is your mouth wide?
Are they hairy?
You're my buddy. I love you. You're a funny guy. You know that.
How much do they weigh?
Oh, shit.
How big are they? He's like,
They're huge. They're big
At
balls.
at least a mouthful. At least a
fistful.
mouthful.
I look like a chipmunk.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
You can fit both? Damn, he's talented.
That's
Shit,
that diet.
you
That's
have
that
no
diet.
idea.
Holy fuck! That is amazing.
All right, so
You're in the wrong business.
before we wrap it up, Fire and Ice, talk to the guys, talk to them about the show, let them know when, where, how, and all that good stuff to find you.
Every Saturday, check us out. We're on Fire and Ice on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are on Twitter, Twitch. We're basically everywhere out there. We're trying to grow. We're going to get a website going for us soon as well, so we can post up little articles and things like that. Because at the end of the day, Brandon and I, we both love to write.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be something that we're really getting ready for as well. You can check out the podcast anywhere you get your podcast. We normally put it up on a Sunday afterwards. I'm going to try to get better at putting it up the day that we do them. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
For those of you that are out there that don't realize what goes into podcasting, it's a fucking lot.
It's crazy. Yeah, one of these days we'll learn.
Yeah.
Y'all are good, man. I love this show.
One of the
man.
days we'll
It's a
fucking-
great show.
One of these days we'll learn.
And we've had some big guests on. You know, we had George Foreman was on a couple months ago. He's
What?
become a regular. Yeah, we had George Foreman on to.
Has he sent you a grill?
Hey, they're just coming out with his
gotta
movie
send you a
soon.
grill.
that's we want to
Yeah.
have him on
Oh,
again. We're gonna
man.
have him on again. Hopefully, to
Can't
talk
wait.
about the movie. And yeah, we just pride ourselves on being funny, down to earth, and can't wait till tomorrow's show at high noon. Tomorrow we're gonna be at Union.
Yep.
So
Union,
it's
the
going to be a
Sunland Park
great
one.
show. Yep. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, and this has been fun, gentlemen. This
Hey,
has been-
appreciate you
I
all making
appreciate
time.
you.
So I'll say it because that was a horrible plug for Union Draft House. It's Union Draft House at 730 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso in the parking lot of Sunland Park Mall. Get on out there. They've got the $2 build your own pizzas. They got the $4 ciders going on all day long. Get on out there and have yourself a good old time.
There you go.
There you
Spoken.
go.
The true promo cut.
I saved it for you.
That's a true promo cut. That's Mike Tipton. That's my man Brandon Cohen. Fire and Ice. The and everything nice in between. Round 2 coming up pretty soon for the pillow fight, the second annual. Are we gonna see you guys there?
Oh, you already know.
Oh yeah.
Bet.
Just tell me if I'm invited, I'll be there.
Oh, you guys are all
getting in?
invited. We're all getting in.
We might lose his invitation in the mail. We don't know about that.
I just missed the cut.
Whoa, that's what she said.
Ga,
So,
ga, 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 ga.
You're Jewish. You didn't miss the cut.
Shut the fuck up, Tip.
He did.
L'chaim.
I did.
Oy vey,
I
mazel
missed it.
tov.
I missed
Yeah, you did.
I got my aunt
Hey,
either.
look, when I was born, I weighed 30 pounds, and then after I got circumcised, I was down to 8 pounds.
Oh,
What was it?
shit.
Oh shit, that was a boil, right?
You had a parachute,
Dude.
motherfucker.
That was
He looked like one of them flying squirrels. Like, fucking.
MC Hammer's pants.
You shit, you had a hammer pen?
The jokes have been here tonight, haven't they, Tip?
The thing is that they fucked up the circumcised and everything's been gone.
Yeah.
Everything followed. Oh shit! You know the boils used to circumcise just with their teeth. Did you know that shit? That's some what? Look
You would
into
know,
a
wouldn't
boil.
you?
I'm not Jewish. I haven't had the pleasure. I'm not Jewish, but I've
vague.
seen a few.
In my
I've seen a
time.
few in Skinamax.
He said, "Trust me, I've done it."
Oh shit! I'm not Jewish. So that's Fire and Ice every Saturday high noon. Catch them. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Don't be a dick. Deuces.
Take care, everybody.